somebody to help me. I'm so glad I got a home on the other side. And you know that the storm is past. Is your queen to be?
Hello. How are you guys doing? I'm back. The title of this live to this evening is called Friends. How many of us have them? And if you can remember, I believe it was Houdini who had the song Our Friends. How many of us have them? Friends, the one we can depend on. Anywho, we're gonna go and we're gonna listen to the the video or the interview that Carlos King did with Toya Bush Harris, and we're gonna watch her take no accountability as always. Okay, so don't be thinking that this is gonna be something special, because it's gonna be typical Toya doing what typical Toya do. Anywho. Y'all, I'm downstairs washing, cleaning, doing all the things that people do when they have houses full clothes, all those things. Let me say some pleasantries. Hello, living for me. Thanks for joining. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment too, because we're gonna be talking about this craziness. Hey, Queen Script, thanks for joining. Yep, Houdini. I used to love me some Houdini, baby. Excuse me. I finally watched out. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Remember, all views expressed in this live are alleged. They're, in my opinion, they're all for entertainment purposes. And I'm going to invoke our Fair Use Act. Fair use disclaimer. Some material in this video is used under U.S. Copyright Fair Use Section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Oh, I don't know why I'm belching. I had some onions, honey. Onions always do that too. I had onions yesterday too. I had some more today. Onions with my breakfast taco. Anywho, let me get up out of here and remove that. And let's add this. Let's get ready. Let's do it. Child. I'll make it a full screen. Remember that when I am doing a review of something live, I have to stop it for fair use. I have to stop, give commentary, because we're going to do a lot of commentary. And I'm going to do a whole lot of criticism. I may even add in some things because, girl, big Toya just be out here telling all the stories, all the lies. Toya just be making believe, honey, making believe. I think she fails to realize her part in anything. And I think her husband just protects her. He just says, okay, yes, Toya, baby. He's a big Toya kisser, but that's her husband. I don't expect nothing differently. Let's go. Let's shoot it from here. Carlos King, don't you come over striking on me either. We just a little bit of content creator with some information, with some story. I just want to talk about it. I just want to talk about your stuff, baby. Please don't come over and bother me.
That this is the century or the decade of my vindication, because I've been saying for years that Married to Medicine is the best show on Bravo that y'all not watching. I said that years ago, but now y'all watching it. And not everybody loves it. And I'm here with somebody because she's wearing...
I have always loved and watched Married to Medicine. It is one of my favorite reality shows on TV. And I'm a Bravo fan, of course, but I will say this: Married to Medicine has consecutively held their position. I think they've solidified that they know how to make good TV, good content, and they continuously do. But let's go ahead. Let's get into the interview.
A coat due to the fact that Her back hurts because she's been carrying the season. Give it up for Toya Bush Harris.
Now, he told Toya she been carrying the season. I don't think so. I don't think she's been carrying anything but a bunch of drama problems and all of the above. The person I believe who has carried the season is the friend of the show named Heavenly. Although people say what they want to about Heavenly, Heavenly didn't film until week 8, I believe is what I heard. And I don't think they would have a show without Heavenly because she's staying everybody's mouth. And Carlos knows that as well because he does a podcast with her every Monday morning. Child, let's get on into it.
Carrying the season. Okay, I can't do it alone. So
no, you and the girls.
Shout out to my castmates. I love my friends.
You definitely can't do it alone because you don't have no storyline. You need them so you can have something to talk about. But let's go.
Castmates, y'all are amazing. My producers, man, we have had some great producers over the years. To be honest with you, I'm just highly blessed. Really am. They taught me everything I know.
Toya.
I'm blaming on them.
Toya, no. And you, first of all, we're both from Detroit. Yeah. You and I are friends in real life.
Yes.
In my line, when I have been championing for this show forever.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment I got my podcast.
He's been champion for this show forever. Ooh, Carlos. Okay.
As I used it to say, look, guys, y'all got to watch this show. How does it feel now to know that I feel like this show is finally getting the momentum it deserves?
Well, I'm going to say right off the bat, I appreciate you because you could only be talking about your shows. Okay. But I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes a long way when someone can say and have the biggest heart for their people and say, you know what, this is just a good show. Whether I like y'all production team or whatever, I love y'all and y'all are good TV and we need it because really and truly, it's just us. You know, we're a little pond. We're a little fish in a big pond.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, there's a ton of housewives, you know, but, you know, Married to Medicine is just us right now, hopefully.
No, listen, you ladies are the epitome of great television. Y'all clock in. This season is off the charts. Before we get into a lot.
We do know that Carlos has really given a lot to Heavenly. He's brought Heavenly back in because they're doing it behind the wall of Patreon. Their reviews of the show. And I think it's going pretty well. Heavenly still tells a lot, but she is more reserved, I believe, this season. So, anywho, hey, Symmetry. I clicked it off. Tune in until I hit. Okay, you be careful when you hit them streets, girl. With friends like Toya, I be like, girl, you and me both. I do not want any friends like that. Yes, Symmetry, but she out touching grass. Let's get on back over here.
Out of that, we have to start with the breaking news. That Quad and King did break up. It was announced first on Sunday, where King said that, you know, somebody said, "Ooh, King, you look good." Quad's a lucky woman, and he responded and said, "Her luck ran out. Her luck ran out." And then another woman said something and he said, "I left the situation." Were you surprised when you learned that Quad and King broke up?
I was more surprised that, and I pray that Quad gives me the same grace that she's going to give Heavenly. Because, you know, Heavenly came on your show and she said, that's my friend. And so Quad's my friend now too.
Quad ain't your friend, but girl, you keep online and thinking that we know y'all are frenemies or castmates, co-workers, you know, get right along to get along or whatever they say. Chap, I don't think y'all really friends, but girl, go ahead with that. Go ahead. We gonna ride with it.
You know, and Quad said, you know, or Heavenly said, should I say, Heavenly, so let's make it clear. Heavenly said that they've been broken up for months, right?
She did.
You know, and I'm just curious how many months, you know, because Quad is right, you know, and so it's Heavenly. He has developed relationships to the point where, thank you, King, shout out to, you know, giving my son one of the best birthday gifts ever. And I appreciate him. He's been there for my husband.
Here we go with the same thing they did with Dr. G. But child, go on, girl. Go on, girl, with this Quad situation. Quad is a cast member. King is not. Of course, he can develop all types of relationships with the people on the cast, but he is not a cast member. He was I guess you could say, a supporting cast member because he didn't get paid to be there. But girl, go ahead.
Have celebrated Father's Day together. He was there at my husband's birthday, and he's become a good friend. And I don't want y'all to think that we go around befriending. No, Quad brought him to us, okay? And he's a nice.
So does that mean that you are friends with everybody that's brought to you? I don't think that's how that works, but girl, okay.
Guy. And I hate that this season is so hard for him because really and truly, and her, but really and truly, I think the relationship was over during the season.
Who cares what you think? Who cares? Can we move forward?
Cold towards her?
Or just distant. I'm not even going to say cold. He's distant and he's not as loving as he was. And you can see it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the viewers are going to start seeing a different scenario with him as they continue to watch.
Now we see the scenario, we see the distance, we've seen them sitting far apart. I've shown y'all that even on my reviews, that they didn't seem like they were a loving couple, that they may have been dealing with some things and just got together to end the show. But at the end of the day, Toya, this is your castmate, and I just feel like they all should watch what they say. Heavenly just pretty much said it was out there. She felt like he was just being an opportunist. At the end of the day, I'm not saying they have to have loyalty to Quad, but Quad is their castmate. She is their coworker.
Show. And then you'll ask yourself, were they together? Because that's what I started asking King myself.
Did you ask him yourself?
I did, but it's not my business to tell. I think that is something that,
Hi, Quad.
Yeah.
I'll call you.
Yeah. Please do. Because
have you reached out to Quad since learning about the breakup?
Quad has actually been there for me recently. My father has been in the hospital. She called me. She prayed with me. Quad has been a friend to everybody this season. And so that's why it's so hard, because it's like, God, I don't want to argue with my friends. I don't want to go back and forth, but it is sad because I feel I'm one of those people that, I fight for everyone. I do, even if you're my enemy, I'm still fighting for you if it's the right thing to do. And I just feel like it's just so unfair when you only hear one side of the story. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's what the media is for.
Well,
Wait a minute. So she fights for her. Y'all got to go get me a ding dong. She says she fights even for her enemies. Girl, Toya is such a fake and a fraud. But we're going to expose all of that as we go through this. We're going to break it on down. We're going to break it down. I promise you. Symmetry said, Toya is not a girl's girl. Hey, Riri Speaks. Thanks for joining the live. Again, Symmetry said, Toya is not a girl's girl. And she ain't. She ain't. In my bad English. She ain't.
You did mention that you solicited King's service because he owns a luxury car dealership.
Yes.
And he did a surprise for your son.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you broke the girl code by keeping in touch with your friend's ex-man?
I don't keep in touch. I do not have his phone number. I do not have his DM. I know what his DM is.
Are you still following him?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't think you're trying to follow him?
Eugene and him are good friends.
But are y'all good friends?
Am I good friends?
With King.
I'm about as good of a friend with King as I am with Quad. Me and Quad are just getting our relationship together. So come on now. Now you know that shit. Okay, that's like that God forbid, the day we good, tomorrow we not. So I'm not doing all that, now. Simone went and unfollowed Jackie the other day, but I don't unfollow people. Okay. It ain't that deep. Okay. I just
two weirdos, Simone and Toya. Weird, do weird things and expect people to go along with it. Girl, I know we are all on the outside looking in and we're not privy to everything, but I believe that over the last 12, 13 years that we've seen them on this show, that we have seen her behaviors, her mannerisms, and it speaks for itself. And the very fact that her husband just kind of co-signs along with her BS, it kind of, that's a whole different area there. But let's go on and go.
Mute you. I will mute your story. Period.
So, okay, so when it comes to another revelation that happened, because this has been a busy Married to Medicine week.
Yeah.
Your friend, Dr. Simone, has been posting a lot of things about Dr. Jackie. She said that after Dr. Jackie appeared on Watch What Happens Live, Dr. Simone tweeted, "You are still defending the devil."
And you know what? That's unfortunate that Simone only sees that what she wants is what Jackie should do. Jackie shouldn't be friends with anybody. What Jackie said on Watch What's Happening Live, I believe was pretty innocent. Let me see, y'all. I'm trying to look and see if Simone still got me blocked on here, because baby, she blocked me. She had blocked me at one time. Let's see. Yep, I'm still blocked. But I can see what she what she's reposted. Let me see. No, I can't see what she posts. I can see what she reposts. Girl, yeah, she got me blocked. She blocked me one year when I said that she screams too much and they should put her off the show.
All caps.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Simone posted a screenshot of comments of people telling Dr. Simone that Dr. Jackie is not her friend. And we've learned that Dr. Simone has unfollowed.
Dr. Simone probably isn't anyone's friend either. I told y'all I've been rewatching Married to Medicine, seeing if there's things I missed, and queuing in. You know, sometimes if you go back, you can see things that just, you know, little things that you see really contributed to something. And I would say Dr. Simone, after her and Toya were successful with getting Mariah off the show, pretty much, she switched. Simone, that's when she started all that yelling. She was yelling before, but her yelling got a little bit worse. And I'm gonna give y'all a rundown on some of that yelling that she was doing. Probably not enough, but I done went back and checked the live. Girl, Simone, she did some stuff I think that we really didn't pay attention to. But let's go ahead.
Followed Dr. Jackie.
Yes.
What do you make of that?
You know, I just feel it's actually really, really sad because
living for me. Can you believe that? She got me. I'm gonna have to show it to you. Hold on. Let me show you that this helper got me blocked. Over here on the Twitters. And I think she's pretty much the only person that blocked me, but I tagged her, it was something she was tagged in, and they probably should get rid of her because all she does is yell. Get rid of her. All she does is yell. That's all she does. Child, I'm gonna speak my mind. I don't care who don't like it. That's the only thing you can do is block me. That's it. You can't do nothing else to me because I'm gonna have an opinion just like everybody else got one. Let's get back to the interview.
Jackie and Simone go back to Simone being there when Jackie went through a huge ordeal with cancer. And I remember when we first started Married to Medicine, and they said to me,
I'm sorry, Jackie delivered Simone's youngest child, Michael.
Nothing is going to come between us, okay? Because we are this right here. And I was like, okay, girls, all right, you know. And I believed them, you know, and I hate to say it, but this time it is the devil. And I'm not going to call Heavenly a devil. I'm just going to say I think it's a spirit on her. Because the reality...
Toya gets pleasure out of watching division. She enjoys it. She really does. She enjoys it.
Is what y'all are seeing on television is half of the story all the time. Thank God for the camera. And that's why Simone kept saying, review the footage, rewind the tape in the green screen. And they did. And I love my production team for doing that because the girls will lie. and she lied. And
what she lied about, girl? What she lied about? Only thing she lied about was she said that Simone cursed. Simone didn't cuss, but Simone did push her hand off of her. Now we're gonna talk about lies. She said Simone cussed, and Simone said she had a hand around her neck. Her hand wasn't around her neck. I proved that last week, and Simone didn't cuss. They both lied. Now let's go on with the show.
And Simone was not unhinged at all. And
Simone been acting unhinged since this show started. We're not gonna act like Simone has not acted unhinged. In fact, we're gonna move on, but I'm gonna stop it in a few seconds and show y'all just how unhinged Simone has acted.
And I'm not just saying that because that's my friend, because I defend even my enemy, period.
When you saw Simone grab Heavenly's arm,
remove.
Remove.
Let's use the word remove Heavenly's arm.
Remove Heavenly.
She grabbed, whether she grabbed it to removed it, the act of touching and removing is a grab. Girl, we ain't gonna try to play with no words. We're not doing synonyms and antonyms and adjectives and nouns and verbs. She grabbed her arm to remove it. You don't just remove someone's arm without grabbing it.
Heavenly's arm.
Yes.
Okay. Did you feel like that was enough for Heavenly to feel like you've gone too far?
No, because just before that, if you really rewind the footage, you'll see Quad and I'm grabbing Quad like, calm down. When her and Simone, that was an unhinged moment.
But okay, that may have been an unhinged moment, but at right now, he ain't asked you nothing about Quad. You keep bringing Quad into this. He didn't ask you nothing about Quad. He didn't ask you to explain nothing about Quad. He talked about the incident between Heavenly and Dr. Simone, because they were the ones who had the issue, not Quad and Simone. We talking about Heavenly and Simone. Girl, stay on task.
Quad pushed me, threw things back. Security jumped in the midst. That's unhinged. Okay. What Simone did
was act unhinged.
Was make a statement. And the statement was, don't touch me.
No, baby. She had been jumping around and waving her hand in the air, all kinds of stuff. So don't go there.
And I think anyone should be able to do that. Thank God we're able to do that on TV, because people will try to provoke you and put you in uncomfortable situations that make you feel like you have to react. And I can speak to it because I've been there. I remember people flipping my hair and all of that and everything else that came with it years ago, but it takes a strong woman to say, please take your hand off of me and I will not do this.
Y'all see how she threw Mariah in there? We ain't talking about Mariah, but they grabbed my hair. Girl, yes, she twirled your hair and you hit her. And y'all started fighting. We all saw it, baby. But let's talk about that just for a second. With Toya and the very fact that she's had issues with different cast members. That believe was season 1, where she actually got into it with Mariah over, I think it was about Miss Lucy or something. I believe they got into it about, and they started fighting and fell in the pool. Baby, just a big mess. A big mess. We're not gonna let you slide, Toya. Baby, we're not gonna let you slide, Toya Bush Harris. You are very what is the word I want to use? Girl, you don't take responsibility for nothing. Let's put it that way. And we're gonna keep talking.
And I respect it. Props to her.
Do you think Dr. Jackie is a good friend to Simone?
Ooh. I think that she could be a better friend to many. I think that there's a lot of time.
You could probably be a better friend to many. Child, let's talk about that. Because you are very contradictory and hypocritical when it comes to these women. But we're going to let you keep on talking with your big mouth.
Times where Jackie has dropped the ball and she's not the Jackie that I knew years ago. I'll never forget Lemon Squeeze Jackie. I'll never forget coming to her house, and I was so sad, and she had my back with Mariah, and, something switched, within the last maybe 5 years or so.
That long?
I think so. I think, honestly, it was something that happened when we were filming, and Jackie broke into tears, and she was arguing with Mariah. It was the whole thing about the drugs, and Jackie was just so hurt and broken, and Heavenly came to her rescue. And I think from that moment on, that's where Jackie just decided, I would rather not even stand up for anyone. If
I think that Toya be like not reading the room correctly. I just don't think that's what the issue is with Jackie. I believe Jackie's trying to be friends with all of them, and Simone has an issue with her being friends with Heavenly. I believe she feels like Heavenly's kind of taking her place. Just my opinion. No one has to believe it. It's a text. When did Simone say, please take? When did Simone say, please take your hands off me? She didn't say, please take your hands off. She said, don't put your hands on me. Her exact words were, don't put your hands on me. Let's go back and finish watching this.
Just to not be in that pain again. And you saw how she handled the Buffy situation. She was mortified, sad daily, but at the same token, you keep doing the same thing, like she does some slip ups, and
girl, we ain't gonna talk about, are we gonna talk about your slip ups? Or we gonna talk about your slip ups? Let's see. The Black Eye event, season 1, episode 4. Toya reveals sensitive personal information about Mariah Huck's family that sparked a huge feud, which eventually leads to a physical brawl in the season storyline when they fell into the pool. It's because she was running her mouth about this girl's child. Toya, you've been slipping up. Let's see what else I can find on here. Toya goes over to Quad's house and makes a comment that says, this apartment, right? Knowing that Quad would feel a way about what she said. Let's see what else she did. With Audra. Her and Audra got into a physical altercation because in one dramatic episode, Toya gets into a screaming match at a party. It escalates to a physical moment when she mushes Audra in the face. And they had to hold Audra back because Audra was getting ready to tear that tail up. You are so hypocritical, but girl, we're going to let you keep on talking because you like to talk.
And I think we all do, but the difference is she wants a pass for her slip-ups, and I know this is a little...
Does she want to pass, or does she want to do like you and just ignore it? I believe Dr. Jackie does slip-ups unintentionally when she apologizes and people try to make it more than what it is, aka Buffy. We're talking about Buffy. It did upset her because I don't think meant anything by it. I really don't think she meant anything by it. And I believe people get offended because Dr. Jackie holds herself at a certain level, and that makes other people uncomfortable because of where she carries herself. But let's move on over here with you, girl, because you think you know something.
A bit more than what you asked about friendship. But I think that a friend should be able to tell their friends when they're wrong. A friend should be protective. And I think that Jackie would not have been okay with someone lying on her. She wouldn't have been okay with any of that. She would have been asking for them to be fired or saying that she will not be on the show anymore. And so why is it any different for Simone? And why would you go on national TV on Watch What Happens Live and not tell the truth, not defend that?
When it comes to Dr. Jackie's friendship with Simone and Heavenly, do you think she sides with Heavenly more than Simone? And if so, why do you think she sides with Heavenly more?
She absolutely sides with Heavenly more, but I think that a lot of the girls look to Heavenly for protection.
That sounds a little jealous. I don't know, baby, it's me. But look, she sides with Heavenly more. I want to break that down. We heard Dr. Jackie say on this past week's episode that, of course, Heavenly does X, Y, and Z, but I know her heart. And I believe that the other ladies know Heavenly's heart as well. I'm not saying that Heavenly gets a pass for some of the things she says, but I really believe that Toya Bush Harris is one of the most inconsistent individuals we see on this show. Exactly, some symmetry. She said she didn't give a F about Heavenly's mother's passing, and she said it on TV. She said it, and then when Dr. Heavenly got upset and walked out the door, she acted like she didn't understand what Heavenly was upset about. I think that's crazy. Yes, protection from what? Because this is supposed to be a friend group. So what exactly does Dr. Simone needs protection from among the friend group? Protect her from what? She wanted her to jump on Heavenly because Heavenly made the comment that she was acting unhinged. And believe it or not, I agree that Simone's behavior is sometimes unhinged. I believe that a lot of times is unhinged.
And it's crazy that I would use that word, right? You're like, protection. But you know what it's like when the girls come for you and it's more than one. You know, a lot of us think that we can handle reality TV. I thought I could, but this is a beast right here. This the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's worse than birth, okay? All right, this right here, this and a tummy tuck. Those two things are the worst things I have ever, okay? And honestly,
I do believe that being on TV is hard. I will give her that. I believe being on reality TV, being scrutinized constantly is hard. But in the interim, there's a lot that we don't see, but what we do see, we've seen Toya constantly scrutinizing the ladies and never taking accountability for anything other than those gums. But let's go ahead.
It just, she doesn't want to go through the fire alone. And Heavenly is willing to fight these girls' battles. That's why you see some of the new girls running up behind her, not even trying to see anybody else's point of view, just strategically. I mean, seriously, her and Quad's relationship, Heavenly, that's my friend. I love her, but I can talk now. Okay, well, I'm her friend too. Can I talk?
Ooh.
Can I do the same?
Can you?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. We're going to see.
Oh.
The reunion Friday.
And it's dropping Thursday.
Okay.
So the reunion was yesterday. It was yesterday. So I just wonder, how did it fare? Did they have a great reunion? What was it like for Quad? And I'm going to say, what was it like for Quad? Because we know that Toya loves to throw rocks. And of course she hides her hands because she carries no responsibility. She bears no responsibility for the way she behaves. None whatsoever. Heavenly did the same thing to Contessa about her mom. The compassion button is missing in this group of ladies. I totally agree with that. Pretty Riri speaks. I believe that the issue with, I'm not trying to make light of it, okay? Because I have a mommy in heaven. But I will say that when Heavenly and Contessa was going at it, I'm not so sure if Heavenly was thinking, because Floridians love to use that your mama, right? Your mama this, your mama that. And so I really don't think she was thinking. But at the time that Heavenly was talking to Toya, Heavenly was dealing with a sick mother who was, I think her mother had just died, but like she had been dealing with that. We had heard on the show her talking to Damon about her mom being sick, and then when her mom passed, and that is something that she was dealing with at the moment. Contessa's mother had passed away years before. So I don't really want to equate those same things, but I will say I believe that some of the compassion that they expect from others, they don't always give. I'll put it that way. Hey, Sergeant Charge. Yes, wow is right. We're back over here watching Carlos King's episode. He did an interview this past week. I'm sorry. With Toya Bush Harris and Eugene Harris, Dr. Eugene Harris. And we're watching it because I have a lot to say about it. So let's keep on watching.
That part.
Hey, reunion content.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
Well, listen, when you talk about the girls following Heavenly, the new girls, Dr. Mimi is a new cast member.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very opinionated. I think she's wonderful for the show.
You do.
I love Dr. Mimi.
You mean Brandy? Are you talking about Brandy or Mimi?
Now she's trying to shade Mimi. You mean Brandy? He said Dr. Mimi. He was very direct when he said it. He didn't stammer or stutter. Brandy is a brown noser. And of course, Toya likes her because she sticks her nose right up her ass. But come on, y'all.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you mean Brandy?
Toya Bush.
Did you mean Brandy?
Toya Bush Harris.
I know you meant Brandy. Stop playing.
Toya Bush Harris.
You don't mean Brandy?
I love Brandy too.
Okay, that's the realest one now, right? Okay, she giving you herself. She's a breath of fresh air. Praise God for Brandy.
I love Brandy.
Toya, Brandy not giving us herself. What we know about Brandy other than she's married, she has a daughter, she's a nurse practitioner, and she has a set of twins. What else do we know about Brandy? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Thank you.
I've been very vocal about.
Well, let's talk about Brandy. What you want to talk about? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I'm not taking over. I'm sorry. It's your platform.
As you do. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
But I love you. You're my Detroit sister.
All right.
We grew up together. Now look. I'm gonna get to Brandy in a second.
Okay.
You are
balance it out.
Hilarious.
I'm just saying.
But I would like to start with Dr. Mimi. I think she's great for the show. Her husband is I can say this, you can't. Not that you would, but
attractive? You think he attractive?
Oh, yes.
Really?
I think Steve.
That's what the boys say. What?
That was so disrespectful. So disrespectful.
What? What are you saying?
I have never conducted an interview on this podcast that has been award-winning, featured in People Magazine, Shade Room, that has amassed today over 147 million views.
Wow.
Where someone has beat me at my own game in an interview.
It's God. It's God. All praise.
I am.
All praise.
You are really good.
My pastor's wife said she would like to see what she wants the world to see, what she sees. And I said, okay, all right.
I wonder what she sees, because baby, what I see, woo, What my guy say on Instagram, girl. Exactly, child. I don't think hopefully you're not showing this side of you to your pastor's wife, because you are a piece of work.
I got you.
No, listen, I love everything about you. You are really dominating this interview, and I'm here for it. Now, back to Dr. Mimi. I think Steve is gorgeous. I think he's stunning. Steve is a good-looking guy. He is a very good-looking guy. Dr. Mimi is a beautiful woman.
Yes.
No disrespect, Dr. Mimi, but Steve is extremely attractive.
And so is Eugene.
But you already know.
You better give my man his props. He is
baby, no one's checking for Teletubby with the discolored lips. Stop it.
Extremely attractive.
First of all, we have a surprise guest.
Okay.
First of all, I want to give Eugene his flowers when he gets here in front of you, because I have lots of questions about you and Eugene. Now, before he gets here, honey, I'm going to stick on Steve, honey.
Okay. How long?
Not small.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry, Mimi. Anywho, back to Mimi. I think Mimi's great for the show. Do you think Mimi is following behind Heavenly for protection?
Absolutely. I definitely.
Oh my God. Why does Mimi need Heavenly for protection? And I really don't see Mimi following behind Heavenly. Girl, anybody who gives this little girl a little bit of kickback, she got issue with. I think it's time for Toya and her husband to exit off of Married to Medicine. That's just my personal opinion. And I'll tell you why as we get on further in this video.
Definitely think she's following behind Heavenly for protection. And really and truly, I would have to differ with you. I think Steve is great for the show. I do. I think Mimi, on the other hand, needs some.
You said she just started to thank her own husband. LOL, good, because look good before she never met you. Girl, she know that man. She met him on speed dating. Enough said he was a doctor. That's all she needed. A doctor, upcoming doctor, who she said at one point, she gonna talk about it in this interview, gave her the key to his place. Child, get on out of here. She loved that man because of his heart. And I believe Eugene is a great man. But Toya, girl, this is what happens when you take somebody and make them feel like they some type of queen to everybody. She your queen, Dr. Eugene. She ain't everybody queen.
Work, but I think Steve is great.
What work does she need?
Just, you got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You got to stop. No, she does not. Okay. She likes to use special trigger words that she learned being a psychiatrist. Chaos. She's in chaos. She, am I safe with her? She, Heavenly didn't get that. She's unhinged. That was Mimi. Stop playing.
Well, you just said that Mimi was following Heavenly. Now you just said that Heavenly got the word unhinged from Mimi. So is Mimi leading Heavenly? Which one is it, girl? You decide. You tell us. Tell us later.
When have we heard Heavenly say anything like that? Besides your mama. The people. Honey.
When have you ever said anything that was intelligent? Don't worry. I'll wait.
Like I see why I'm obsessed with Married to Medicine. If you're not watching this show, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's the best show on
because
TV.
We want the truth. Everybody wants the truth. Like, let's stop with the...
But you don't think Dr. Mimi is being truthful, child?
I think that she may... I can get...
You know what, Symmetry? You are right. Male-centered, male-identified. She has nothing nice to say about the ladies, with the exception being of Simone and Brandy, because we see her fighting for Brandy over there, and we already know Brandy doing up and sticking her nose up her butt. And I really feel like she feels that way because of what Dr. Mimi said to Brandy when she was saying, "Hey, you need to watch out. You're gonna be on the wrong side of history fooling with Toya." It's Toya being negative at this lady's campaign launch, yada, yada, yada. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining the live. Pretty Riri Speaks says, Andy will never get rid of Toya and Eugene. He loves them. Child, don't never say never. Never say never. Never say never.
Under the people's skin, okay? I didn't know I was made for TV, but I guess I am.
You are the TV.
So it is what it is, okay?
You're
so
Samsung.
Can I be Sony?
Okay.
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 But I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. All I'm saying is, if I can give Mimi any advice, if you want to stay on Married to Medicine, learn how to have your own opinion. Learn how to stop trying to pretend like you're psychoanalyzing your friends. But
baby, Mimi not going nowhere. Mimi not going nowhere, because you know what? We are happy to have them. If you watch Twitter, people love them. People love Dr. Mimi and Steve. Girl, shut up.
But really, you're judging your friends, because none of us has sat on your couch. None of us have spent any time with you outside of filming. And so you know nothing.
Y'all all judge. You hypocritical heifer. Y'all all judge each other. We all judge each other. You are one of the most critical, negative people on this show. One of the most. And guess what you do? You spend a lot of time judging people for their clothes, purses, shoes, cars, houses, furniture. You spend a lot of time judging. You know what Mimi's judging? Your character, your behavior, your mannerisms. That's what she's judging.
About any of us, except for Quad and Heavenly. Those are the only individuals you can diagnose. Period.
Well, I'm pretty sure that license that she has hanging on her wall that says she is a doctor of medicine in psychiatry pretty much gives her the right to judge and diagnose your raggedy ass too, girl.
Has she tried to get to know you and Simone
No.
and Jack?
No, she doesn't call us. There's been numerous times where my husband tried to reach out to Steve.
I'm calling bullshit on that one. You said exactly, love them. Everybody I see loves them. Andy loves him so heavily. He even endorsed her on yes, he did on Watch What's Happening Live. He said that, if he lived in Georgia, he would vote for her. That's an endorsement, period. Chad, I ain't never seen him say he loved Eugene and Toya. I don't know where that came from. Never heard him say that. If it was on a reunion stage, and he tell everybody that on a reunion stage. The statement from Toya says that she is coming for Mimi and getting her off the show. That's what it says. And we do know that Toya always puts the battery in Simone's back, and her and Simone get together, and they are the ones who decide who they want to kick off the show. But I believe with Dr. Mimi, they're going to have some kickback because she is liked by Quad, Dr. Heavenly, Contessa. She's liked by Angel, Dr. Jackie. I think the issue is that Dr. Mimi got into Toya's ass. She zeroed in on her. And she has, as Queen Sheba said, she's honed in on the behavioral traits of the black experience. That's what Dr. Mimi did to Toya. She honed in on those behavioral traits, every single one of them. Symmetry said she is saying that Quad and Heavenly are patients that of Mimi. Why would you say something like that, child? I have no idea why she would say something so idiotic, but we know that a lot of things that comes out of Toya's mouth is idiotic.
Maybe my husband too fine for him. It was competition. You know what I'm saying? He can't hang out with my man because my man works. Okay? I'm just saying.
Steve works.
Yeah. To have your own opinion. Learn how to stop trying to pretend like you're psychoanalyzing your friends, but really you're judging your friends because none of us has sat on your couch. None of us have spent any time with you outside of filming. And so you know nothing about any of us except for Quad and Heavenly. Those are the only...
Y'all, she mad. She mad.
Only individuals you can diagnose. Period.
Has she tried to get to know you and Simone and Jack?
No, she doesn't call us. There's been numerous times where my husband tried to reach out to Steve. Maybe my husband too fine for him.
Let's see. Steve has a child with autism and has two kids, one with autism. Guess what? When you have small children, you stay busy. Girl, your kids are teenagers, and you have a husband who has spent most of his time away from you. Steve don't have time for y'all. Steve is out there buying Louis Vuitton and spending time with his children and his wife.
Competition. You know what I'm saying? He can't hang out with my man because my man works. Okay? I'm just saying.
Steve works.
Yeah.
What does Steve do?
He works under his wife. I think he works with his wife, which I'm okay with.
No, I know. I don't know.
I think he's the office manager. In every scene, they just say, go to work. I ain't seen no work, but they just say, go to work. I don't know, but I don't know. Is there paper on his desk? I don't.
I really think that's a really unfair statement. Steve Sanders is an ex-NFL wide receiver. So if he invested his money well, he may never ever have to work a day in his life other than sit in his wife's office and assist her with business. Chap, girl, go on, Toya.
You tell me. I mean, let's rewind the footage.
Is Steve the male version of Toya?
Oh my goodness. That's why he's so cute. Okay.
What? Is Steve the male version of Toya? Steve, I'm going to say it again, has worked in the NFL. If you know about the NFL, you know that their tenure isn't very long. He was a wide receiver. He took a whole lot of hits very early in his career. He played for the Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions, and the Arizona Cardinals. If he invested his money well enough, then he don't have to work another day in his life. For instance, let's talk about Monique from RHOP. Her ex-husband, Chris. Chris played in the NFL, invested his money very wisely. Chris don't work. He don't have to work. Deion Sanders, another one. He works. Deion Sanders don't have to work. He didn't have to work after he retired. Deion Sanders works because he wants to work. This mess, they put these narratives out here. Then they have people believing that these men don't work or these women don't work when all the time they're making money. They ain't out here just wasting money and don't have any money. They're out here making money.
That's it.
Wait.
Yes. I told you he's perfect for our show. He's perfect.
Because baby, you are.
We need it. We got a bunch of old men. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to have a little youthful, Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of youthful, Angel, I think is great for the show.
She is. Angel is breathtaking. Angel has, to be honest, Angel spoke up a lot. I'm not going to bite Angel's bait because really and truly, Angel knows TV. And she needs something for the reunion. She does. Because, a lot of times Angel spoke up and it just wasn't shown. And
Why
I
not?
think because she has a big booty. And I think they was like, baby, that is better.
Angel's beautiful. She has that body, yada, yada. And she's good for TV. And they know it. And I believe it intimidates Toya because Toya has had the biggest booty on show. I'm telling you. This is a jealous woman y'all looking at.
TV. It is what it is. She looked great in her clothes. Don't you? You remember that cute little silver dress? Oh my God, it was popping out in every direction. And she was talking about God at the same time. It was crazy, okay? But I will say this. I love having Angel on the show. She's spicy. Mm-hmm. She's pretty. She is fun. And I love the fun girls. And I think the more youth we add to our show, the funner the show is because I'm a different person when I have my youth around me. So I love Angel on the show. Thank you for hiring. Good job.
Yes, and you are a Proverbs 31 woman yourself.
Yes.
You know what that means?
Not even close.
I know I am. I would like to be a Proverbs 31 woman. I mean, there's some things in that proverb, like, meekness, kindness, all these things. It's some things that I'm working on.
I'm going to read it to you.
Okay,
and you tell me if Toya Bush Harris
I'm working on me.
is a Proverbs 31 woman. You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she did call Simone a Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 woman. You should be a Yeah, she was quoting it. I saw that too.
Yes, I'm going to tell you what it is.
Let's see what
you
it
ready?
is.
Okay, y'all ready for this? Okay, I got my reader's child. Okay,
thank you.
Virtuous and trustworthy. Is that you?
My friends would say so.
What friends? Because the ones on the show not saying it. What friends say you are Proverbs, that you are virtuous and trustworthy? Child, I am sick of her. What are y'all saying over here? What does Toya do besides film with Married to Medicine? Steve is retired. Exactly. That is my point, Symmetry. Steve is retired. Again, if he retired and invested his money, he never has to work again. And apparently they ain't doing too shabby for themselves. Child, moving on. Chris investments are working for him. My point exactly. That's my point. Here's the thing: is Chris made the money, invested his money in his investments. That's how life does. If you retire properly, which is invest your money, then your investments will take you on through retirement. Chris has been retired since I believe he was in his mid-30s. That's when he got out of the NFL. And I believe the same thing for Steve. He left the NFL in his early 30s. Reducing her to her looks and clothes is ridiculous. It is. It is. It's very ridiculous. Because one thing we do know, Angel is a smart cookie. She's a nurse. She is an entrepreneur. She has a scrub line that is moving the market by leaps and bounds. And not only that, she's on this show. This isn't the first reality TV show she's been on. So I really think that Toya is a piece of work. We all know that. How she manages and have skated through life is beyond me. I have no idea how that works for
her. Earning her husband's full confidence.
Yeah, he would say so.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure he would say so, because child, you could almost slap him around and he'd be like, yes, I like it. Toya, she just did it because her hair was out of place. Child, shut up.
Okay. Strong and dignified.
Oh, very.
Generous and wise.
Absolutely. My sons would say so.
Faithful.
Yes, I think yes.
You think?
I think it's hard.
Now, the streets over there. Yes, Angel is also a mother. Now, I don't know if y'all can remember but back in the day, the streets were saying that Toya wasn't that faithful to Eugene. Allegedly. At least that's what was going around on these out there on the TV. It was over there. They were talking about it on the show, and they were saying that Toya, the rumor was that she was messing around. Now, it was on the show allegedly that she was allegedly sleeping around. I don't know. I ain't seen no scuttlebutt. All I know is what they was talking about on the show, that, what she was doing. I don't know. But child, if she say she wouldn't, if she say she faithful, we believe she faithful. Praise the Lord.
Faithful to what?
Faithful to your husband.
Oh, I'm faithful to my husband and to Married to Medicine. Absolutely.
Oh, my bad. It said her it really means faithful to God. Her ultimate praise is based on her fear of the Lord rather than merely her beauty or her charm.
That part.
Is that you?
That part. Baby, I'm not going to hell for nobody. And I always say that too. And the girls know down to the they all know. If there's one thing I can get from Toya is a prayer, I can get they know that my relationship with God is strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm scary, about I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to lie. I try. When I was younger, there was a lot of things that I did that I'm not proud of. And they are
like having Eugene do your term paper to get a date with you?
No, like stealing.
So she's an admitted thief. She's an admitted thief. She just admitted she was a thief when she was younger. Hopefully the Lord has forgiven her for being a thief. We know that she does have a propensity to lie. And other things, right? And other things. Queen Script said that Toya is aggravating, definitely. Allegedly. Oh yes. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Allegedly. I can't say it enough. Generous, but wouldn't give money to the Met Gala. Child. That right there was a big mess last season. That not giving money to that Met Gala. And if it hadn't been for heavily exposing her, that's the one thing she doesn't want to do. Toya does not want to be exposed. She does not want anybody to call her out on her crap, regardless of how crappy it is. That was awkward. She was puzzled with Faithful. She was. That was my point when I said about the we've heard thing out here in the social media streets, that she wasn't always faithful, but child, allegedly, it got nothing to do with me.
Being arrested as a child, just putting my mom through hell.
She said she was arrested as a child. Girl, I'm glad the Lord delivered you from that.
Rebellious.
Yeah.
Rebellious spirit, and I think when I look back, if I could just redo some parts of my life, but it's okay because God said, guess what? I got grace for you. And look at you now. He said, because some people won't see. If I wasn't on TV, you would never think. My friends know that there is, that Toya, I read somewhere on Instagram and it said, if my girlfriend had 6 husbands, then I have 6 brother-in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and neither one of them will know because that's my girl.
Yeah.
You know, and I
don't want no friend like that. I want a friend that's going to call me out when I'm wrong. I want a friend that's going to say, hey, friend, you shouldn't have did X, Y, and the Z. You need to go fix that. That's what friends are. Friends are not those who just pacify you because you want to feel good about yourself, even when you're wrong.
I am faithful to my friends. I value the friendships that I have. I just got back from the DR with a 50 from my girl who just turned 50, and I've known her since I was in 6th grade. All of my friendships date back that far, you know, except for the girls I'm married to medicine. But even with them, it's been over 15, almost 18 years for some of us.
Yeah.
And I'm a faithful friend. I am, you know, but there comes a time where being faithful doesn't mean you have to lie. And I've never asked my friends to lie for me, and I'm not going to lie for them.
Based on what I read about the definition of a Proverbs 31 woman.
Well, you was confused. You thought they were talking about Eugene.
No, I'm saying. No.
So let's redo that. Let's talk about God.
No. So with that being said, I'm going to say a name, and you tell me if they are a Proverbs 31 woman based on the definition.
Ooh.
Do you remember it?
So y'all remember, he gave us the definitions of a Proverbs 31 woman. And I want you to hear what she thinks of these women. Each one of them, as he calls out their names.
Look at my baby. He done showed up. Hey, honey.
Oh, listen, perfect timing.
Hey, honey. Here, come on. They're going to get you a
Ladies
chair.
and gentlemen, Eugene Harris.
Nice.
Look at Eugene.
You look so good. You look amazing.
Hey, Eugene.
Look at my baby.
No, Eugene is... When I had Eugene and Cecil on podcast, first of all, the numbers went through the roof because it was nice to hear just from them.
Yeah.
And the way they love up on their women.
Well, that's
This
what
man
sets
loves
us
you.
apart. But that's what sets our show apart, too. Our men are there working for free. They are.
I'll agree with her on that one. That, I believe, is what sets that show apart. The men on that show do show up for those women. They are there. They're not getting paid. She makes it very clear. But they do show up for the ladies. They are there in tow. They have their own segments. They get together and hang out outside. But this is a group of men who are not being paid to show up, but they do show up for their wives. And I that's something I can't appreciate. And I do believe that the men sometimes give you a normalcy of this wild group of women, and then you have the normalcy of women. I would tell you on the show, some of my favorite men. I like Cecil. I love Dr. Daddy. Dr. Damon, I think he is always the voice of reason. I think sometimes people misunderstand him because he is so quiet and he doesn't always speak out about things, but I think he thinks before he speaks. My old pastor, that was one thing that I really loved about him, was that he always took a moment to think before he just blurted out something. Like, you have people you talk to, they just blah, 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 blah. We're just regurgitating anything. But if a man will take a moment to think before they speak, it could also warm the heart and keep you from being, because words hurt. Keep those words will be a lot softer if you think before you speak. And that's one thing I like about Dr. Damon. I like Steve. I think Steve is a great addition to the show. Scott, yeah, I don't really care for Scott. I just feel like there's a hidden agenda with Scott, and I just don't feel like we're ever going to get to the bottom of it. He's Contessa's husband. Yeah. I like Curtis. It's unfortunate that Curtis is a cheater, pumpkin eater. But I think he's good for Jackie. I believe they have a great relationship, and watching him and Jackie, and Heavenly, they're in Africa right now. I see him in a different light, just watching the interaction and the fact that they had adopted some adults there now when they were teenagers, and that they're visiting and they're giving money back, and how that Curtis actually went to Africa and actually helped them build some things there. Such a neat thing. And then who was the other? I'm missing someone. Oh, Eugene. My thoughts on Eugene is he's chatty. He's a chatty Cathy. He likes to gossip, and he enjoys being in his wife's business. He enjoys being in the ladies, whatever the ladies got going on. He enjoys hearing about it. My husband, he one of them guys. He don't care about what me and my friends talk about. He don't want to hear nothing about it. You said exactly, child. You still have that rebellious spirit. Exactly. She definitely has that rebellious spirit in her. Her friends will let her poison, or let her die. Exactly. They will let her be unalive. The friends don't care nothing about you. Your friends will sit up here not able to say, hey, you wrong, because you don't have to agree with your friends. If you wrong, you wrong. And I think that she has an issue with anybody who calls her out for being wrong. Friends give you a reality check. She's no real friend. She's loyal if you agree with her. She can't bully heavenly. Right. She can't bully heavenly. She can't bully Dr. Bibi. She can't bully Toya. And those are the reasons why she finds issues with those ladies. Queen Script says she loves Dr. Damon. Quiet strength, does not waste words at all. When I say I love it, he's probably my favorite husband on the Housewives. Steve is a great addition, a great addition. She's the Eugene, LOL, girl, Eugene, girl, that's one of the ladies. Put him on a skirt.
Not being paid. Yeah. They are just there to support their wives.
I want y'all to hear this again.
And that is a very
loves you.
Part, but that's what
I want y'all to hear her say this again, because a lot of people, all the guys get paid. I want y'all to hear this come out of her mouth.
That's our show up part too. Our men are there working for free. They are not being paid. Yeah. They are just there to support their wives. And that is a very loving place, because there's a lot of housewives' husbands that say, they're not doing it.
And you know, the thing is, and I can say this publicly because I already said it, you know, Cynthia used to give Peter 10% of her paycheck.
Oh, and Simone might. She might. You should ask her. I don't know. But Eugene gets way more than 10% because Switzerland was way more. Okay?
Give me some, girl.
That part.
We don't care.
So what did I miss?
I hate his laugh. His laugh makes every Sunday night when I hear him laugh, it just annoys me. Oh, boy, shut up.
Oh,
so much.
Girl talk.
So much.
Don't worry. There's one question I do want to get your opinion on.
Oh, yes. I know what that is.
You really are. Okay, so listen, Raindrops, we are blessed with the presence of this great man who I revere so much. I'm not going to get emotional.
You should. He just drove in from work.
No, but I know he did, but that's not the reason.
2 hours.
You're the only person that should be getting emotional about your husband is you. You're the only person. You got this man out here working like a Hebrew slave or a Jamaican. You're the only person that should be getting emotional. Girl.
For you.
No, but he also, the thing about Dr. Eugene is I was going through something personal. Oh. You know about that.
Yes. Oh.
Yes. And I called Toya and I said, I need to talk to Eugene.
Yippee, how sweet. How Eugene, kudos. And we've heard other people talk about how kind of a guy Eugene is. Can we move on?
And Eugene was there for me. And I just want to say, for the world to know, this is a good man, Savannah. Yeah. like in real life, this man helped me through something that I was going through on a personal level through somebody in my life. Mm-hmm. And I just think you're the greatest thing in the world. So give it up for Dr. Eugene Harris.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, you did miss all of the girl talk, but I do have to... You came in at the right time because I was reading the definition.
Well, they say I need to stay out of women's business.
That's well, not over.
But we know that you can't.
Not your wife's business.
Not a reality with the kids.
My business is your business.
I agree.
This man is opposite of women's business. So welcome to my world.
Anything concerning his wife is his business.
Period.
Period.
So as you know, Angel mentioned on the show a Proverbs 31 woman, and I want to know if your wife fits the description. Virtuous and trustworthy.
Yes.
Strong and dignified.
Yes.
Generous and wise.
Yes.
Faithful.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I'm going to name some names and you tell me if they are a Proverbs 31 woman. Okay?
For me or him?
Both of y'all.
He can't.
No, okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine, for you.
Okay.
But you can make a noise if you disagree. Okay.
Here comes the shade, everybody. Everybody cut your lights on because here comes the shade.
I make faces. Go ahead.
Proverbs 31 woman. Dr. Heavenly.
She is not trustworthy. So no.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me pull up Proverbs 31 because I could have swore he said virtuous. Hold on. He didn't say nothing about trustworthy. Let me make this in the King James Version. Proverbs. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her. Her husband trusts in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her lives. When I tell you heavily protects Dr. Damon at all costs, baby, she don't go back and forth with her husband. She don't disrespect her husband in front of others. If there's an issue that she wants to talk about with Damon, they talk about it to the side or at home. She seeketh wool and flax and work willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night and giveth meat to her husband. I mean, she gets up before day and cooks dinner. And a portion to her maidens. She is considered a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands, she planteth the vineyard. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She's perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spittle, and her hands hold the distaff. I would say Heavenly is a Proverbs 31 woman. It talks about a noble wife. That is the whole scripture. It has nothing to do with whether you like someone or if they are trustworthy. Because I don't have to trust my friends. My husband has to be trustworthy. That is what a Proverbs 31 woman is. It's a virtuous woman. And that virtue is not amongst friends. It's among your household, your family. Queen Script says, to give them this question was silly, super silly, but we know that it's all for ratings and clicks and views. He did. He chose the one she didn't agree with. Exactly, of course. The next one's going to be one she doesn't agree with as well. Let's go.
Dr. Simone.
Yes.
Dr. Jackie.
Simone is a virtuous woman, although she screams, yells, jumps, and shouts, talks crazy to her husband, has spoiled her children, did not teach her children the values of life. But okay, if you say it, okay, she keep wanting to divorce her husband. Remember, the virtuous woman is noble to her husband, not to her friends. But let's go.
Yes.
Who's the second?
Quad. 31 woman. Okay?
Let's go then.
For me or him?
Both of y'all.
He can't.
No, okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine, for you.
Okay.
But you can make a noise if you disagree. Okay.
I make faces. Go ahead.
Proverbs 31 woman. Dr. Heavenly.
She is not trustworthy. So no.
Okay. Dr. Simone.
Yes.
Dr. Jackie.
Yes.
Quad.
I'm developing a trust. We're trying. But in the past, there has been some things that has shown me that I think trust and faithful. But if we're talking about faithful to God, that's different. I think we're all striving to be Proverbs 31 women. And I don't want to say that
Wait a minute.
So no.
Okay. Dr. Simone.
Yes.
Dr. Jackie.
Yes.
Quad.
I'm developing a trust. We're trying.
A Proverbs 31 woman has nothing to do with you developing a trust. Girl.
But in the past, there has been some things that has shown me that I think trust and
these people are idiots. And that's what I keep saying about Toya. Toya is probably the slowest one of the group. Her, good, let me go on, child.
Faithful. But if we're talking about faithful to God, that's different.
A Proverbs 31 is a noble wife, but it is a woman of valor, which is totally different than you and your one-on-one friendship. It has nothing to do with that. But girl, go ahead and do your little thing. Do your 1, 2, your thug this or whatever you want to do.
I think we're all striving to be Proverbs 31 women, and I don't want to say that I can judge any.
You know what? She said Heavenly wasn't trustworthy. That's what that's the only word she threw out. Oh, she's not trustworthy. So I would say no. With she said Dr. Simone was, Dr. Heavenly was. When she got the quad, she said no. And it was because she was developing a trust. When I tell you these people don't know their Bible, but pretend like they be in church all the time, baby, one thing you got to do is know the word for yourself. Proverbs 31 is about a noble wife. It is only saying that a woman should be a woman of virtue, of valor. I mean, she has to have statutes. She has to have limits. And again, like I said, you could say what you want to about your relationship with Heavenly. Heavenly protects her husband. Baby, when I tell you, just a mess. Live for Me says she done changed the whole subject, the whole scripture too. The subject, the scripture, she did it all. She changed it all in this conversation. When I tell you this girl, she frustrated me. Let's move on.
Because I fall short.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Mimi.
At least you know you fall short, because baby. Okay, if it's talk about Dr. Mimi, let's see what she says about Mimi.
I don't know her.
She's your castmate.
She doesn't call me. We don't spend any time together. We're on a group thread. That's all I know.
Y'all was wearing matching pajamas celebrating Christmas.
Quad brought them for us. At Walmart. Okay.
You see how she threw that shade in there? Quad bought them for us at Walmart. Baby, you was wearing them like they came out of Saks Fifth Avenue or Bloomingdale's or Macy's or Neiman Marcus. Baby, I saw you with them on just like everybody else had theirs on.
Walmart. Yeah.
No shade to Walmart.
No shade to Walmart. I mean, it could have been Target, but it was Walmart.
We're not going to Target right now.
You know, I mean.
Okay. Wrapping things up, Brandy.
Absolutely. Yes. From what I spend time with.
She loves Brandy because Brandy is a brown noser. So Brandy's not going to do anything wrong as long as Brandy agrees. Remember last week's episode when she was going at it with when she was trying to get in the middle of the situation with Heavenly and Simone. The one thing that she did, even after Brandy had sat outside with Heavenly and talked to Heavenly, she went back in with Toya, got in the corner and started talking about Heavenly. Girl, of course you like her.
I speak with her. I said earlier, my father is going through some things in the hospital. Brandy has been there for me. Simone has been there for me. Thank you. Yeah, they've all been great. Everybody else has given their prayers in my friend group. Quad has prayed with me. But yeah, she's been a great friend. And I love the fact that when Mimi tried to put her on the spot and tell her who she should align herself with, Brandy said, I'm going to need you to not talk to me like, girl, I got this.
Well, honey, you say you don't know Mimi, but Mimi is a busy woman. So, child, move on with your life. She's on that show making money just like you making money. You sound like you trying to stop her coin, but we're going to pray that devil get on the flight with you. All right?
I don't need you to do any of that for me. Okay. I was like, yeah, that part. Okay. Because you grown and you have your own voice and you are not manipulated by the people.
No, she's manipulated by you, little buddy. By you. Dr. Mimi knows better. Exactly. Living for me. She was happy to be skinning and grinning in those matching pajamas. Exactly. Girl, she was so glad that Quad included her among Quad's other friends. See, Quad got her Married to Medicine group, but Quad got Yandy and all these other ladies that she intermingles with. And she was able to rub elbows with women who were not married to married to medicine wives or married to doctors' wives. So you could best believe Toya was over there having herself a good time. Right? Brandy doesn't seem like a punk at all. Yeah, not at all. Just a brown noser.
That part.
And last but not least, the woman who made the statement alive, Angel. Is Angel a Proverbs 31 woman?
Definitely.
I'm getting to know Angel. Honestly, the longest time I've spent with her was after the party we had at the house where everybody said I went crazy and went off on my husband in a disrespectful way. She stayed. Her Angel stayed, Quad stayed, King stayed until 3 a.m. We were all outside talking.
Yeah, wonderful.
But you did want to add Quad to the Proverbs 31 woman. I think every single one of us in this life have Proverbs 31 in us as women, because a lot of us deal with those very values that causes you to be a virtuous woman. How you handle your children, how you handle your mate, how you take care of your home. That's what qualifies you to be a Proverbs 31 woman, not your friend group.
Yeah, had a wonderful time.
Well,
isn't that something?
I'm glad.
Had a wonderful time.
I'm glad we get to talk about that. But before we get to talk about that night that literally broke the internet, I do want to ask you, Dr. Eugene. Recent news broke that King and Quad have broken up, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Are you surprised by the news, or did you see it coming?
I hate to say I kind of saw it coming to a certain degree, only because.
Here you go, getting in people's business. But girl, boy, go ahead. Girl, go on.
And I'm actually cool with King. And I think, he's a new friend, but I actually would use the word friend. We actually talked. We hung out on Father's Day. Like we
get to the point, bonehead.
I hang out with King. King always had an issue. I think that the focus of their relationship was baby only. When you're a new couple and you're just getting to meet this person, the focus should be getting to know them, not fertility stuff. And, I think it was too much focus on other stuff other than really establishing their bond. And I think it affected him to a certain degree.
Have you spoken to him since the news broke? Or did you?
I told him the news broke. I said,
of course you did. Of course you did, buddy.
Hey, King, you all over the internet.
Well, he broke the news himself. He told us first.
He's talking about before that news.
What news?
No, he didn't know that his comments were on the internet.
Oh, well, he went on the internet and made the comment.
I
know he didn't know that it would.
That it went viral.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, hey, King, you're on TMZ. He's like, huh? So I sent it to him. He was like, oh.
But see, did TMZ call him because they called Quad, or did Quad call TMZ?
Quad's statement came.
Yeah, we don't care. Move on.
After King's stuff blew up, I believe.
When did you know they broke up?
When did I know they broke up?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Share to you.
He said this been done.
Because?
I think because the focus was off. Like they just weren't on the same page,
Not at all. That's we would advise everyone to enjoy your relationship.
I don't want no advice from these two. No advice from these two, because I watch how you disrespect your husband and how he emasculates him, and then I watch how he is afraid to check your tail. No, girl, I don't want nothing like that.
For as long as you can and establish a bond between each other so that hopefully once you have the kids, that bond is first. It's unbreakable in front of the kids. And, our kids, I tell Eugene all the time, hey, we have to be on the same team. We do.
Yeah. Let me retract that statement. Because actually, even when I think of, I've been, we go to marriage counseling.
Yeah.
So they are in marriage counseling. And I'm sure it was because of the show taking a toll on them and all of the things that they had to endure after the episode where she's constantly been known for, talking crazy to him or whatever. But child, They need it. They need more than marriage counseling. Need a lot more than marriage counseling. None at all. Child.
One of the things I've been trying to really self-reflect on some things, and I was like, and thinking about things more philosophically almost. I think when a man and woman fall in love, when she has a baby, she falls in love with that baby to a certain degree. And it's hard to be in love.
That's true. But I also believe that Quad really wanted a baby and not so much a man. I believe King was her avenue to get the baby. I don't think she really wanted to be with King. I'm honestly just, when you sit back and think about it, it seems like she may have just been tolerating him as an avenue to get to the child. I'm not really sure. Hey, Eva Walker, thanks for joining. Ladies, you watched the interview? You really enjoyed it? It is a great interview. Great interview.
With two people at the same time, in love, And so when you look at a man and a woman after they have children, the focus does shift off the man to a certain degree. And I think they never had, the full experience of falling in love because they were probably going in that direction, but then they shifted to, I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. So King's like, as a man, well, what about me? What about us?
Like, those are the questions
Yeah, what about you? What about you? And I think that was what he was saying at the barbershop. Like, he had sacrificed a lot to, help her have this baby, which was something she wanted. It wasn't something he wanted. So their values and their views were in two different areas. When it came down to King and Toya. Quad.
I would ask him, what made you put aside everything that you need for her needs? Why did you stay and film and continue?
He liked the fame. What do you think he stayed in film? Baby, people get a little bit of fame, and he had a luxury car business. Just imagine the people who now he's got a little bit of notoriety. Hey, they're giving him business. Of course, that's why he stayed. You think he a fool? He ain't no fool. You ain't no fool either.
When y'all were not in a good place. Like, that's what I want answers to. And I never asked, and I could have. But if you ask and and someone asks you, then you're obligated to tell that they asked for the truth. And so I rather not know so much, But I think there's a story there. Definitely.
Well, we will find out. But what I will say is there's a story going on with you two that.
Yeah, I heard Carlos say we will find out. I bet you he's going to do an interview with King. Guarantee you. Either King or Quad. But I guarantee you there's going to be an interview real soon. Because he said we will find out as he started to play with his fingers. I guarantee you. That's a nervous. Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Has rattled social media. Yeah. Episodes ago, you guys had a party at your house and you two got into an argument. And we don't have to get into the specifics of it because y'all were there. We all watched it. But Toya, people do not like the way you speak to your husband.
Yeah.
At all. Don't like the way you talk to that man at all. But he likes it. Look, he has a smile on his face right now. He enjoys it. He gets a thrill out of it. And apparently it makes his day. And maybe what is the reason why he has stayed with you so long. He likes the way you talk to him. Quad should have just let the relationship take its time. I agree. But I think she felt that biological clock ticking on out. And it was already out of batteries by the time she figured it out.
And they think you emasculate him on purpose. They think you don't respect him. And even Heavenly has said something along the lines of, you treat him this way maybe because you want something else. What do you have to say to people who feel this way?
I think I'll start from the back end with Heavenly. I think that...
Of course, we're going to start with Heavenly. Because we don't like her. But come on, girl, tell us.
We all think at some point in our life that we need or deserve something else whenever things aren't going our way. And I think when it comes to my husband, the one thing I know for a fact is that he chose me and God spoke to me and said he was for me. And I was like, what? I didn't even I wasn't even.
I saw that face. He chose me, and God spoke to me and said he was the one. And I was like, what? This man was not her choice. He was not what she wanted.
Ready for marriage, really. But he was like, that's for you. He's for you. And ever since we've been together, we've been blessed, and because we're obedient. And I was obedient to God. And so I know that Eugene is for me. It doesn't mean that we're not going to that we're going to be the perfect couple. I've only met one couple that I say sometimes is borderline perfection. They laugh all the time. It's my aunt and my uncle. But the reality is, Eugene and I have been on camera now, I think, for almost 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so the camera no longer is present. It's almost like it's a little stranger in the room, but it's like you don't really pay it any attention. And that particular day, it was a real life scenario that was something that me and Eugene we fought to overcome. In the beginning of our marriage, we would have some heated discussions in front of our.
Okay, we skating around this question. Skate. Anybody else skating with me? We skating. I'm on ice skating, honey. Ooh, skate. Because we ain't answered this question yet. He was for me. He was for me. She was for me. He was for me. We done heard that 6 times, 7 different ways. He was for me. He was for me. Baby, answer this question because you give me a headache. I've been waiting for you to get to the point, and you ain't got to the point yet. He was for me. He was for me. We got that part. Now where we going now?
Our friends. And it was uncomfortable for them because they loved us both. We would even try to make them choose sides. It was bad. And I think that the public is right to a certain extent.
The public is right. Did y'all hear that? The public is right. She does emasculate her husband, and she does talk to him bad. Look at there. She admitted that.
I shoot from the hip. I'm blunt. I can be rude. I don't mean to emasculate my husband. And I definitely, it's not my intention to attack him by no means. I do feel like there are times when I'm unheard and.
Okay, so she feels unheard. So she's rude. She can be rude. She can be blunt. And she does at times emasculate her husband. She says she doesn't intend to, so hopefully she's apologized to him. But we hear her taking ownership of this part, and let's hope and pray she don't flip it back. Hopefully she stays on it.
I need more self-control.
She needs more self-control when it comes to her husband.
When it comes to speaking to my husband, whether it be during a camera, around friends or in private. I think that we both are a work in progress, I
think that's a relationship thing. Being a work in progress is a relationship thing. And it's the longer you're married, the more you have to work at it. It is, relationships are a tug of war because you're dealing with someone else's personality versus your own. So I really feel like she's right in that instance. But it's how you control yourself in that relationship is what really matters.
But I'm by no means perfect. And that's my prayer now. That's my struggle. And I'm just glad that my ultimate judge is God, and he knows my heart. He knows that I'm really trying to be a nicer person when it comes to my husband. And we even learned in our marriage counseling that we have some triggers that we've had for years, and one of my triggers is not being heard, because as a child, I always felt like my voice was, I couldn't use it in my mother's house. It was her word and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And we know that it's like that in a lot of African-American homes that, you can't really, your voice is not going to be heard, or children are better off seen and not heard in a lot of African-American homes. So I do understand that. But I believe at a certain age, you start maturing to the point where you really, really know how to operate in your queendom. Because a lot of that is feeling secure and respected in your own space, in your own skin. And I think we've clearly seen her, like she said, they've been on TV for about 13 years with her husband, and the way she's behaved with him. Nothing has changed over this course of 13 years. There was a time when they did a couples trip. I want to say they went to Jamaica, and she told him, "You should just shut up and eat that biscuit." And I think it flowed off her lips so easily because that is the norm. That's how they talk to each other at home. When in actuality, when you're in front of someone, you could make the choice to just kind of not say anything and be respectful and let things slide or pass by. And I think that's where Toya is probably learning. Hopefully, this is a learning curve for her doing counseling. Hopefully, she can get to the point where she does not emasculate him, because it seems like he's always giving in to her behaviors.
And so when I grew up, I was like, nobody gonna tell me, and it was all of that. And, growing up in Detroit, it was like, it's a battle sometimes,
I also have a question too. Do you guys feel as though this is an excuse? Because she's been married to him long enough to know the ins and outs of him. She met Eugene when she was 30 years old. So that lets you know she's closer to 50 than she is to 30. They have been married. I think their oldest is 16 or 17. So you add that to whenever she met her husband, the years that they've been married or whatever. And then you go from there and you say, in all this year, that has this man not made you feel secure, safe, and heard to the point where you feel like you have to emasculate him? That is probably my biggest concern with that.
My family, it is what it is. And
yeah, because in Detroit, we're from the same, obviously.
Yeah, we can polish up nice, but
in Detroit, you're not. Again, there's exceptions to the rules, but being raised in Detroit in a household with parents, you are not allowed to have a voice.
No,
at all.
It's what they say. In his household, he was.
That's not just a Detroit thing. That's a Black family thing. A lot of us were not raised to have a voice. I can remember sitting among my, going with my mom over to my aunt's house and sitting on the couch, because we were raised, when you go over someone's house, you sit in the living room. You don't go all over someone else's house. You sit down. If they invite you to go to another room, you go to the other room. And I can remember going over my aunt's house, sitting in the living room, and her and my mom would be having a conversation, and my auntie would look at me and she would say, "Get out of my mouth." And I'm thinking, what should I be looking at? But not you talking. And I just think that's a part of being raised in a Black home. Yeah, stay out of grown folks' conversation. That's the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying? And I believe a lot of us were. And so, and I don't think that has a lot to do with how you react of not being heard or seen, because she's not an only child. So I'm sure she had siblings to interact with. But I just think that's a part of being raised in a Black home where you just wasn't supposed to be in grown folks' business.
Raised the same way.
Yeah, I think there's, I think the public obviously sees us and judges us. And we're pretty open. I think we give a good representation of who we are, but the public still doesn't see the whole Toya. They don't see the whole Eugene. Like, I know how she grew up. She knows how I grew up. I know her parents. I know her where she came from. I know all these other aspects of, like, you just might see Toya saying something, but I know where it came from. And so I get it. If I know the backstory and understand the whole person, sometimes when she says something, I may not take it the way the public's going to see it, because I get what's happening.
And it's not him making excuses for it.
No, it still might be a trigger.
I think it's him.
Oh, it's definitely him making an excuse for you because he tolerates the behavior. He knows it's wrong, because he just said, "I get triggered." He knows that the behavior is wrong, but instead of him saying, "Oh, this is not good behavior and this is how we need to handle it," he goes ahead and goes along with it, which does not help the situation, at least not from what I can see, I believe it actually inhibits it from getting any better, because he is watching you emasculate and talk crazy to him and talk crazy to your friends. And then he's like, well, I know where this is coming from. Instead of saying, hey, maybe we should go get the help needed to, work on these issues. Because if you do the work, maybe it'll get better. I don't know. I'm just speaking from what I think.
Recognizing too that there are some things that happened in when he was growing up, and they may have made him a certain type of way where he triggers me. And that,
what does he do that triggers you specifically?
I mean, can I be honest?
Sure.
Are you sure?
I don't know. What you about to say?
I mean, I think that one of my triggers is I don't like for him to drink a lot, especially on camera. I think in that scene, they thought I was drunk, but really and truly, my husband had worked hours and not ate.
I was having a good day.
And he was having a great day. and I was pissed, and I was trying, and I'm so used to him being my ride or die and helping me through these scenes. And that day he was kicking it with the guys. And I'm like, we're trying to make a show. What are we doing here?
You know what it gives me, though? It gives me spoiled. What that gives me, when you're saying that you wanted him to do something, he wasn't getting up doing it when you wanted it to be done, it really gives spoiled. It really does. And I don't know how you fix spoiled when it comes to adults. Hey, Khadijah, thanks for joining the live. Hey, Queen. We're over here watching Carlos King and the Toya Bush interview Toya Bush Harris interview that he did on this past week. And we're just making some comments. We have seen that Toya has taken responsibility for one thing, and that's the way she talks to her husband. So now let's get back to the video.
And so it just, it was things that was happening that just were, it was triggering for me. And when I kept trying to get his attention.
I think we use the word triggering just way too loosely. Girl, you are a spoiled brat. I believe that your husband has spoiled you, and because I'm gonna tell you something. When you meet a man, you will sometimes push him to the limit to see how far you can go with the man. And I'm not telling you from hearsay. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. You will kind of push the envelope to see if I can go here. Okay, I did that. Let me push a little far. You know how far you can go with your man, for you have gone too far. And I believe you have pushed this man, and you know that he's a pushover. So you just keep pushing, and you still pushing, and you ain't stopped pushing. That's a you problem, not anybody else's problem. It's a you problem.
And I was like, hey, honey, can you do this? They only showed, we was at my house for over 4 hours. Mm-hmm. They showed a 45-minute version of it. There was so many times where I had asked over and over. I had to ask Scott.
No excuse. You asked over and over, but you still in that process, these other people watch you emasculate your husband because he wasn't getting up moving like you wanted to. Then you alluded that he had too many drinks and so on and so forth. Khadijah said, I haven't watched the show in years, and Toya taking accountability is shocking, to be honest. Let me tell you something. It is shocking. But excuse me, she only took accountability for sometimes she can be rude and emasculate her husband. That's the only thing she took accountability for. She ain't took accountability for nothing else. Trust me, everything else is the other lady's fault. Toya does not take accountability, period.
Had even stood up and was like, I'll do it, Toya, And it wasn't that I was trying to get him to do what I say. It's not it. It's just that at that moment, it's pressure, And when I see my friends giving me that look, that side eye, and then I see people that aren't even my friends, like Mimi, that don't know us, don't know our relationship, but that are looking for something.
Now, okay. So now we're gonna take it all back. We're reeling it in. We took a little bit of accountability, and now we're gonna blame it on Mimi. We're gonna blame it on the friends who was looking at us crazy because he wouldn't get out of his chair. And this is the reason why I had to get with him. I had to get with him because all these people was looking at me. So that's why I was talking to him crazy. And that's why he was sitting over there not moving and trying to write a doctor's note because he thought it was funny. I didn't think it was funny. So I just kept emasculating him. And all the ladies were saying, oh my God, don't do that, Toya. Toya, you shouldn't do that to your husband. And she kept doing it anyway. But it was their fault. It wasn't her fault. So now we just took their response. We took the accountability back that we actually took. We gave it back. We ain't taking no more accountability from this point on.
I was angry, and it came out. And I admit, I took a lot of it out on Eugene, and I think that through marriage counseling is great because we talk about, okay, why do we still have the same triggers that we've had years that we no longer need? You know what I'm saying? I need to feel safe with my husband. And sometimes I don't always feel that way, and I think.
Girl, what was that man doing that made you feel unsafe? You wanted to play a game and he didn't want to play a game. It was his day off. He wanted to sit there and have free drinks and talk with the guys and chalk it up. And that made you feel unsafe, girl. You a real insecure person if that made you feel unsafe.
What does safe look like for you when it comes to him?
I answer. Safe looks like him doing what I tell him to do. That's what safe looks like to her. All right.
A good example. Being raised in Detroit, you might have stayed in a house with bars on the window, right? Bars on the front door. That was my scenario. I remember my stepfather always saying,
here we go with these skates again. Y'all skating too? Hey, blessed by God. Child, we are skating around. We skating. We back on the roller skates because now we back in Detroit, living in a house with bars on it. Now her stepfather, let's see what he done did. What stepdaddy do?
A man's job to lock each door, make sure the house is on lockdown when it's time to go to bed. I never saw my parents drink in front of me.
Okay, so the stepdaddy locked the house. They never drank anything in front of her. I'm just trying to figure out where we're going. Y'all stay with me. Hope we stick it together. It's a long interview.
And I'm talking about my stepfather and my mother, not my father. But just providing an environment where I can be who I need to be because I know he got me.
Girl, what? I done pulled my hair back. Girl, what? What is she talking about? Lock the doors, not drink in front of me, but I could be me and I know he got me. Maybe it's something I'm missing because, Chad, that ain't making sense to me. Yes, her character suggests she'd see if she could push him to the limit, basically punking him, shaking my head. I remember her speaking on her husband's size, which should have never made it to TV. Absolutely, Khadijah. That should have never left her head. If she thought it should have stayed there. It should have never flown out her mouth. Khadijah speaking to you, Dana. Girl, let me see if she got something else to clear this up. Because at this point, this feeling safe story ain't making a whole lot of sense at all.
And I guess that's why, even though he's not an alcoholic and he can drink and have a great time, it triggers me because I know that once he gets there, then it's my turn to be that protector. And I don't want to.
Wait a minute. So is she alluding to Eugene drinking a little bit too much? Yeah. Okay. Okay, girl. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. You said, I enjoyed the interview. Toya definitely needs more growth. Hopefully she continues to pray. I'll leave it at that. Who am I to judge what they got going on? I totally agree with that. Blessed by God. I enjoyed the interview. I just really feel like Toya just does not take accountability for what she does. You know what I'm saying? I think even in friend groups, sometimes you have to own your part in it just so you can move forward. That's it. I'm not judging her. I think I'm just giving a little bit of criticism. She's on a TV show. She did this interview, and I'm sure that this interview is all about getting numbers, dollars, cents, whatever that looks like.
Be that. I don't always want to be the strong girl. I feel like I was raised being that, and I want to be soft too. You know, I want my husband. We're working on a trigger word. So I said, can you just call me Lovey when you want to calm me down? Because I want to be loving. I want to be all the things that he needs. And so we're figuring out where we are.
Okay, her voice is starting to crack up. So she's emotional. She is emotional. And I really believe this is a sore spot for her. It's something she's probably worked on. And this may be an issue that's deeper than what any of us can know or even realize. The one thing she said that I honed in on was that she feels like she wants him to protect her, but she has a man that works a lot. And I'm not giving Eugene an excuse, but he does work a lot. He's away from the home a lot. And working a lot and being away from home a lot leaves Toya left to do the majority of the household chores, take care of the boys, taking the boys back and forth to school if they have any activities, getting them to and from activities, doing whatever she wants to do, plus being the wife, the mother, the home take care of. I don't know if she pays the bills around the house, but we do know that she said she put $600,000 down on the home they're currently living in. So I just feel like that maybe she wants more from her husband than what she's getting. That's just what I'm taking from this. And I'm only taking that because her voice is beginning to crack. So I hear the emotion coming up. Let's go forward.
Our 18 years later in our marriage and what we need individually. And can he provide that for me? Absolutely.
I think they're 18 years in, and I really believe after 18 years, I think after a few years, when your kids start to become old enough to be getting ready to leave the nest, going to college, it will make you sit back and reevaluate your relationship. Like, what am I going to do when my kids get grown? Do I know my husband well enough? Is our relationship strong enough? Because a lot of people stay together, and then when our kids become adults, they divorce. I have friends whose parents I thought were great parents, and then these kids went off to college, and hey, my mom and dad got a divorce, or they're getting a divorce. And I'm telling you, a lot of my friends, when they went off to college, their parents got divorces, or after they graduated college, their parents were getting divorces. Just weird things that happen like that. And then when you turn about 50, which they both are getting close to, that's that time when you really sit down and you kind of start reevaluating life. Did I get what I needed? Is this what I really want to do? So I think all of that may be coming into play with these two.
But I have to be at a place where I can express them, where he can hear me. And so I'm working on me and he's working on him.
And how does it feel for you to hear her say those things?
I mean, we're a work in progress, and I think you're always trying to reinvent yourself to be better. And that's what she's doing. That's what I'm doing. So I would be disappointed if she was like, I'm perfect, it's only your problem, you're the only one that needs to change. That's not what she's saying. She's like, hey, yeah, I have triggers, and some of my triggers are because of my parents. Some of my triggers are past relationships. Some of my triggers are the shit you're doing now, But I think recognizing it, I think is the first step of change.
But I think he also has to, and we are figuring this out in our marriage counseling, he has to own the fact too that he can get defensive.
Okay, here we go. We done threw the accountability back on him, baby. When I tell you, that's one thing Toya can do is flip that. She can flip that mess on you in a heartbeat. Eva Walker says, I love me some Toya and Eugene. This is a great start for both of them. It can be, but Toya gonna have to do better by that mouth. She just really is, especially when it comes down to if he's gonna be getting defensive. Why is he getting defensive? Is it because you're always accusing him of stuff that isn't always true? Because you're putting your triggers off on him? Yeah, that's something I don't know. Yes, being the one that has to run the house, so it definitely is hard. It is hard. I remember my kids were younger. I thought, man, I wish I had someone to pay all these bills so I don't have to worry about any of this. Because that it's hard being the sole person responsible for things, although you may have a spouse, but being responsible to make sure that things really run smoothly in the home, it's hard. It just really is. Pre-Riri Speak says it's very common to stay together for children. Crazy because children know there's tension in the home. Definitely. And that's one of the things that one of my classmates told me when her parents filed for divorce. She said, I thought that when we left home, because she was the youngest, she said, I thought when I left home and everybody was gone, all the children were gone, I thought it would be okay. She said, but my mother told me the sounds just echoed louder. Y'all think about that. The sounds just echoed louder. The loneliness just got louder.
And when he gets defensive, is that going to help him to get his point across to me?
Mm-hmm. You worried about him, girl. You got to work on you. Let him work on him. You work on you. Move.
Mm-hmm. You know, and so there are things now that as a married couple, you know, we're working on, but owning your part in it, owning your things that, you know, I can't worry about so much him owning or telling the world his business. That's his business, but I don't mind because they're paying me, you know, and they're always going to show me in a certain light, you know, and I hate that because I try to change it all the time. You know, like you'll see toward the end of the season, I just was like, I have to stop giving it to them. You know, I can't blame production for anything because I give them these.
Oh, somebody get out the clay. Where is it? Hold on, y'all. I got to give her an applaud. You got to stop blaming production because you giving it to them. Girl, come on now, Toya. Thank you, God, that she realized that. They only can produce what you give them.
Moments. And so if I got to figure out a way to still make good TV, but do it in a way that makes me proud, my pastor's wife proud, my husband.
She worried about that pastor's wife is proud now. I don't know what this pastor's wife done did, but she worried about it. This lady's proud. You make sure your husband's proud and God is proud because you got on TV and talked about your husband's man parts. Girl, nobody would be talking about your husband's man parts if you hadn't put it out there first. Watch your mouth.
Proud and God proud.
Right. But I do think that starts with you.
Yes.
Right. And I hear you loud and clear when you say, and I never knew that. You obviously, you were a little girl.
Yeah.
Right. Who did not have a voice in her own household. Right. And as you got out, you sort of like broke free.
Yeah.
You know, from a spiritual standpoint, a physical standpoint, an emotional standpoint, you were free. It reminds me of when I left Detroit at 22 and I was, don't laugh, I was in the closet with this voice.
Still.
And this mannerism.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
I'm going to tell you something Carlos is good for. If Carlos don't do nothing else, he going to flip that shit up. He going to flip that conversation around to him. Baby, it's always going to come back to something about Carlos. Baby, he is good about that. In every interview, he got to get in something about Carlos. Something. Carlos. Y'all pay attention. I don't know if y'all be watching like I be watching, but it's going to always lead back to him. Well, you said you didn't mind because they pay you, but that bothers you. Which is it? You said two different things in one statement. Khadijah, I told you. She give you some accountability and then she come and take it back. Because I just feel like Toya's unhappy. I just feel that way. I feel like she's unhappy. And I think Y'all, we watching season 12. They've been married for 18 years. She said they've been filming. So I guess they shot for their pilot 15, 16 years ago. After only being married to him for 3 years. And we know that when this show first started, her kids were little, like in their stair steps. They were little. Those boys were small. So you got married, met him at 30, got married, had babies, came on this show, and you're making good money, but are you really, really happy in the position that you're in? I believe she loves her husband, but I believe that he was not her first choice. She made that very plain earlier. So I just really wonder what Toya's really, what really is the problem? And I believe sometimes when we're unhappy, we make excuses for everything instead of just jumping right into the fact that I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel like I've met my destiny, or that I've met everything that I was intended to do in my destiny. I don't know. Child, moving forward.
Anyway, my point is this. Shut up, Toya.
Yeah, I believe it though. Detroit was in the closet for a long time.
Oh, absolutely. But my point is, I grew up in a household where I could not be my full self.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left Detroit,
we still talking about Carlos. We'll get back to the show and get back to Toya in a minute. Let's see how long it take him to talk about himself.
Moved to New York City.
Ooh.
And baby, I became everything I came to be. And when I came back home a year later, I had 2 earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, that was a no-no.
And my father said to me, "That's it, right?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Mm-hmm." But my point was, I understand what you're going through in terms of like, you're expressive because you weren't able to do that. Yeah. But I do think this though, if I could give you some advice, as my sister, I do think this. I think you said something that I was going to say to you too, and I'm glad you said it because it shows me you're growing. You're repeating the same cycle over and over again, and you have to tell yourself, how are you able to manage your reaction to things? Because you are very expressive and he isn't, right? And his expression looks very different than yours. And the one thing I want to talk to you about.
I gotta scratch my head on that one. He said one thing he wanted to say to her was she needs to manage her. I think she's doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know. I got the same look Eugene got because that didn't make a lot of sense, but okay.
No, because he did say what the fuck and all this.
I think
I'm like, say what?
Well, I do. Again, I'm a viewer, but I think I can speak on behalf of America, and I say this with love.
Yes.
Toya, we all felt it's about fucking time.
For Eugene to stamp that. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, okay.
We were like,
oh, wow. Did y'all felt the same way? You said, oh, wow, I'd hate for someone to make me feel like they settle for me. Me too. He said that when she said this at the earlier part of this interview, she said that God told her, he chose her. She said that Eugene chose her, and God told her that Eugene was for her. And she frowned up her nose. She said, I said, God, what? That's what she said. So it was as though he was not at the top of her list, but she felt as though he chose her and that God said, this is one that's going to do right by you. And so she says later on in the interview that she had put in the Bible what she wanted, and he met those things. Some of those, I think she said all of them, he met those things, but he was not her first choice. No.
Finally, because we, and please stop me if I got this all wrong. Mm-hmm. When we look at this man, there's a lot of women who want your husband. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure you know that.
Yes.
And
where they at? So, who want Eugene? Somebody put it in the chat. Who gonna take Eugene off Toya's hand? Because I want to know. Who is out here that want Eugene? Maybe the women that Carlos talking about is Carlos. I don't know. But I ain't seen no women say, oh, I just want Eugene. I ain't seen none of that in the Twitter spheres or on the Instagram or the Facebook. I ain't seen it nowhere, but Carlos did say it.
You know that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you read DMs. I hope you don't. Because one of the reasons why King told the world they broke up is because girls were flirting with him in the comments, knowing that at least they thought he was with Qua. But my point is, these girls don't care if you got a woman or not. They're going to flirt with you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women who want your man because they look at this very successful Black man who not spiritually, but he worships the ground you walk on. You are his dream girl and you live a very soft life to us.
I was supposed to say
to us. And I'm going to say why. Because this man works to the bone to make sure that Toya Bush Harris is happy. And I do think that it looks differently for you. So what we're seeing as the audience is, and when I say this, I'm saying this with kindness. We look at you like this ungrateful bitch. Do you know how many women and men want your man, will love a Eugene to have in their life? And we do feel like you take him for granted.
Yeah.
I think I can agree with all of that. I believe that she does take Eugene for granted. I believe that we've seen Eugene stand up for himself before, where she's done this yelling and screaming, like when she told him to eat the biscuit, shut up and eat the biscuit. But I also believe that Eugene is responsible for some of this behavior, because I'm gonna tell you this: you know how much your man gonna take. You know what you can and cannot say to him before it flips before his wig splits open, or before he mouths back off at you. I don't know. Live for me said, Jesus, girl, what I say? I know it's something I say. You said, oh, what's wrong with Eugene? Blessed by God, would you choose him? I mean, he may be. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with him. I'm just saying I don't see the women out. You know, he's not the typical six-pack with the broad shoulders and the slim. He's not that guy. Eugene's the, slightly obese, high blood pressure. His wife says he got a little member, all kinds of things. And I don't think anything's wrong with it. Carlos is probably projected. I totally agree with that, Khadijah. I totally agree with that. Eugene is a good guy, but I believe in my heart she's still unhappy and it's sad. Susie, you feel me? Susie, yes. That's all I'm saying. I believe she's very unhappy. And I don't know what that could be. It could be the very fact, again, that she is growing older, because she will soon be 50, like I told you guys, and that Eugene is getting older. And I believe when you get to a certain age in life, because I've been there, where you kind of sit down and you start reevaluating life. This, I didn't achieve this, or I didn't achieve that, and I wanted this and I wanted that. And I believe that sometimes all the money in the world can't make you happy. I believe happiness comes from within. It's just my personal opinion. He says some of it is probably they don't spend enough time together in relationships, have to be nurtured. I totally agree with that, Khadijah, because that was the one thing I want to say earlier. I've been watching old seasons of Married to Medicine, and I will say from season 1 of this show, even up until this current season, the one thing that Toya has said consistently is that he works too much. She has said that consistently from season 1 to season 12, that she feels like Eugene works way too much and he spends too much time away from the family. She also says she's lonely, whereas Eugene is okay being away from home. They're on 2 different paths. I agree with that, in your opinion. I agree with that right there, Riri. I totally agree with that, because he did say that he didn't mind. It's just 2 hours down the street, and I'm making twice. He had an excuse. I'm making twice the amount of money. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And in all actuality, the one thing that we do know, like I said, consistently, Toya said from season 1 until season 12, that she actually misses him and that he works too much and she wants him home more. Toya is unhappy, is related to her, not her spouse, and she needs to go into intense therapy before she wakes up, when those kids are around and leave. I agree, Susie. And I think that's one of the things we've been talking about is that they are in therapy. They're both talking about they're doing marriage couples therapy. And like I was saying, they got married. She got married. She met Eugene at the age of 30. She said they've been married 18 years. I'm not sure where after the 30 they got married. But what I do know is that as you grow older, you start really analyzing your family, your children. Your children grow up. We talked about one of my classmates as she became an adult and went off to college. Her first year in college, she returned home to her parents mid-semester getting a divorce. And she, I remember her calling me and she was like, "Can you believe my parents are getting a divorce?" And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, when I came home for the holidays, is what my parents told me. I wasn't expecting it. Now I'm over here crying. My mom's crying." And she said, "I thought, there was always a little problems. I thought it would get better after all of us were away from home, meaning all the children had gotten grown and moved away." And she said, "But my mom said that it got louder. The house got louder. So all those noises, the issues didn't go away. They were just enhanced once the children were gone, because there was no one else to absorb the noise. A house full of furniture will absorb your noise, but a house with just a little bit of furniture, you will hear echoes." So that I took that from that. Let's go back over here and hear what else they're saying. I think we're going to be wrapping this up soon.
And when he buckled back on you, a lot of the girls got turned on because, they were like, "Hey, Eugene," but they also felt like it's about damn time. She deserves for you to buck up on her. But I do you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I'm not interrupting.
No. I figure energy.
I'm receiving.
Yes. But I do want to ask you this. Were you ever able to move past the comments your wife made about your penis?
Okay. This right here is going to be the question that I really want to hear very well. It says, "I do wonder if him being okay, being away from home, has something to do with her being extremely unpleasant." I think it does. I really think it does. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Okay. I still don't think she made a comment about my penis.
Correct.
That part.
It wasn't literal.
Right,
it was figurative.
So, on this actual comment, he said that he doesn't think she made a comment about his member, but what she said was she was surprised that after marriage that it didn't continue to grow. That's what she said. But people added in what they wanted to add in. She didn't have to say much else.
It was a figurative thing, and they ran with it. The other ladies,
Yes,
Quad ran with it.
Heavenly
ran with it. But she
even today when they
it was a figurative thing, and they ran with it. Girl, she put it out there. There was nothing figurative. She made a comment and alluded to something that they ran with.
Bring it up, and not to cut you off, but the reason why I'm asking you that is because this season, in your frustration with her, y'all had a one-on-one scene, and in your frustration with her, you brought it up again, like they're saying this about me. So that's why I want to ask you.
I guess it's because it's an ongoing issue. Like, even though that was several years ago that this comment was made, the same day of the party, the pool party, I'm in text messages talking about, "Hey, yeah, and your husband's dick is little and mine ain't." Like, okay,
but if your wife had never put it out there, that should have the question, the response. I think she wrote it on a piece of paper and they read it out loud, or she read it out loud, or she said it out loud. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but here's the one thing that I know: if she had never said it, it would have never been an issue. It came out of her mouth.
What's that got to do with you leaving a fake person at the party? Like, that's you leave y'all text as girl text.
Yeah.
Leave me out of it. Now that I'm in it, like, hey, quit talking about me. Like,
does it offend you though?
Yeah, it's offensive.
Like, are you?
Here's the next thing too. She didn't have to share all of that with him. If you know something's going to hurt somebody, why share it? I think that also is an issue. There's some, you got to protect him. That's the one thing that I believe Heavenly does so well for Dr. Damon. She protects him at all costs.
Is it hard for you to get past that because it's something that you feel like any man, as a man, I just wouldn't want that to constantly be brought up.
It's an annoyance.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Okay.
But
you don't think?
But when you keep bringing it up, it's
Toya looked at him like that's a lie.
It's research. Like had it not ever came up again, I would be like, oh, okay, well that was some stupid stuff that, like Quad said, she was gonna give me a dress. I haven't brought that up ever again because she ain't saying it no more. But when you keep saying something,
but do you blame her for it?
No.
Shoot, Contessa said that you was the definition of a big old bitch. That most of the women have said that, so it ain't just one or two. Let's call them all out. They've all said that you have an issue with your mouth and acting like a girl. Now stop it.
Do you feel like he forgave you for that?
I feel like our counselor said, how do you deal with the stresses of your life, your show, your job, social media? We haven't figured it out yet. I think that Eugene wants to believe that he's over it, but I prayed for a man that was sensitive to me and not with anybody else.
She prayed for a man who was sensitive to her, but not to anybody else. But this same man, she says, she's afraid can't protect her when he drinks. I don't know. Toya be double talking sometimes. Khadijah said, are they serious with this? He didn't comment on my package, shaking my head. Girl, we all heard it. I can speak in mine, but if you do, the consequences are. Yeah, that's a way to think about it. Even Walker said it still doesn't give the ladies the right to use it against their marriage. I agree, but I think when it comes down to Heavenly and the other girls, Toya is always dishing it, right? She dished out whose fake bag is this, right? And so that was the response she got back for that. Your wife should have left you out of it. This is why Toya is able to take accountability, because he won't let her. Girl, come on. Exactly, Khadijah. This is the reason why she doesn't take any accountability. He won't let her do it. He just get out here and be trying to make excuses for her. Khadijah, protect your spouse at all times and don't give people ammunition. Exactly. She gave them the ammunition with the little package comment and all that. My bad. I'm cooking and didn't finish my statement. Okay. That's okay. Let's go back over and listen some more.
And so the part that I know, and in being with him for almost 20 years now, his feelings are hurt. He has always looked at himself as being a good guy, especially to women. And to be attacked by women is...
Girl, you attacked him first. Because even before we even get to that comment about the penis not growing, you told him to shut up, eat a biscuit. You have been attacking this man. So we're not going to act like that. A lot of what you get is because of what they've seen you do to him. A lot of what he gets, rather, is what the women have watched you do to Eugene. You're not innocent by far, Toya. You're not innocent. So let's not say this. And I can believe that social media is harsh. I can believe that being on this reality TV show is harsh. And then this man works a full-time job. That's why he stays away. It's probably his coping mechanism. It's probably where he gets to clear his mind and move forward in life.
It's hard for him because you're not allowed to go off on a woman. You know what I mean? Which is what concerned me a little bit, because when people say things like, well, it's about time, I was like, wow, what a double standard.
Okay, nobody, I agree with that, Khadijah. No one's attacked Toya. No one's attacked Eugene more than Toya, baby. This is my favorite thing to do.
Shut up!
That's what Toya needs to do right now is all of that. Just Just shush. Cause baby, you have attacked your own husband. You have.
Because God forbid the world be okay with a man bucking up on a woman at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reality is, in a relationship,
I don't think now she's saying it's a double standard. I think what people are saying that it's disrespectful for a man to talk to a woman that way, and it's disrespectful for a woman to talk to a man that way. I don't think that's a double standard. I believe you're getting it from both sides. I'm not sure what she exactly is talking about. We've watched her emasculate her husband, and if it was the reverse, if he was talking to her that way, I'm sure by now he would either been off the show or been ostracized pretty bad.
if I'm acting a fool, you don't meet me foolishly.
Right.
Okay? You set the tone of the way and you want it to go. And so had Eugene met me with, baby, let's go talk in the back. You know,
Girl, we watched. Let me pull up the business. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Child, when she told that man to go eat that biscuit, you shut up and eat that biscuit. When I tell you he tried to talk, he pulled her to the side. He tried to talk to her. And when I tell you she would not shut up, she wouldn't shut up. I can't find it right now, so we'll keep watching this while I look for it.
something ain't right with you right now.
He did try to
No.
come at you and nestle
No.
your hip
No.
when he came in the kitchen.
Yeah.
No, it was
was
World
on
War
in
III.
No.
in the kitchen.
No. I'm talking about before. I watched the show, but before it got,
You watched it. Was that an edit?
I'm talking about before the escalation. When you made the comment, well, can you get up? Something along those lines,
Yeah.
and you went in the house. And he was like, let me get up. And you got up and you walked to her and you said, hey.
What the fuck?
Okay, that's what he said. Hey, whatever. Let me take this off stage just for a second, and we're gonna go to. You said Toya, you forgot people watch the show. Please stop. Exactly. The bullish wife is putting the blame on everybody, not herself. Baby, when I tell you she took no accountability, none. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Y'all ready? You guys, this is season 6, episode 9. And Toya was even. This is actually 6 years ago. But it's everybody else's fault but Toya. Mariah is a fool. He said, I don't give a pass for verbal or physical abuse. Eugene let a lot slide, but he gets her back by staying away from home. Girl, you know it. He is staying away for a reason.
Yeah,
He said, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, we was both on 10 by then.
Right. What the fuck was that?
And here you go, just co-signing. He was on 10. She said he had been at the drink. Come on, we're gonna listen. Let me shut my mouth for a minute.
Tell something a little different,
No,
child.
that's it. You better go back.
But also,
But
this,
let's be clear.
Go ahead.
Let's be clear. Even though that happened, okay, I stole the show. Well, what happened before that?
Yes.
And so
correct.
You may not have even seen that because you saw me not doing Proverbs 31.
And that's fair.
Period.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
That's the real.
I
Okay. She went back and she owned a portion. She owned a portion of that. Susie says, I pray she doesn't work that man into her early. I guess I know you meant into his early grave with all of these different houses. This is very sad to see a good man go through this. Oh my God, the yelling in my face while we was trying to resolve something, then crying to make me shut up and feel bad. She's way more toxic than I thought, baby. And that was just one. Remember, That was in Hawaii. That was not the biscuit scene. The biscuit scene was in season 4. So, baby, that was even 2 years earlier. Baby, when I tell you Toya missed. This ain't nothing new. Heavenly only came in, I think Heavenly joined this in season 2. But you blaming this on everybody but yourself.
Actually, listen, because I'm not a producer in this moment, I'm a viewer, and I actually receive it. Yeah. I can actually receive that as a viewer. I was so put off by the way you spoke to him that I missed anything he did. And listen, maybe subconsciously, me and the viewers, were like, whatever he did,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because of you. And now I understand why. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I have an aha moment too.
Yeah.
I now understand why it's very difficult for you to be yourself on the show, because you do feel like, yes, I'm giving the world my real life, but I also understand as an outspoken Black woman, talking an octave higher than most.
Okay, you guys, I want to explore this. Hold on one second. I want to explore. She said that he was on 10. I want to rewatch this scene just to see if it's something I missed, because I don't know, maybe I missed something. Let's see.
I need the wife, fleet, and husband attention. Okay. And you know what I need from you. Woo. All right. Eye contact, please.
Okay, so she started the drama. We got this part. She started the drama. Let's see where we go with this.
Toya and Eugene get into a heated argument during a party on Married to Medicine, and the tension is impossible to ignore. What starts as a
shout out to Star Glamour, honey. I'm trying to get past her because I don't know what she's doing. Let's see.
Shape y'all are. Let me get it together.
I thought this was a day to chill.
Okay.
I thought we were going to chill.
I want to keep you in shape so that when we go on the couples trip, y'all all look good and can take off your shirt.
I got it. I'm going to write everybody a little script saying that we're excused from extraneous exercise. I appreciate that.
All right, so let me tell y'all how to play this game, okay? Eugene.
You just explained. We're good.
No. Uh-oh. I need the wife, fleet, and husband attention. Okay. And you know what I need from you. Woo. All right.
Y'all heard all the woo.
Contact, please.
I'm going to keep writing these.
Now he embarrassed, so he looked over his glasses at his friends. He's like, shoot, she thinks she talking to. I'm going to keep writing these little excuses over here because I ain't paying her no attention. She don't run me.
Oh, really? You want to be hard?
Why are you talking to you like that? Right now, Eugene officially has 2 assholes. He does.
This feels like training camp. Eugene is in training camp.
Eugene!
If Toya is this mean to Eugene in front of people, I am afraid to think of what happens when we're not there.
Are you done?
We got to give Eugene a signal. Let us know.
I had to write them doctor's excuses.
We got doctor's excuses. We can't participate.
Eugene, you think you so funny.
But what if we got doctor's notes?
They still trying to have fun. She's getting madder and madder every time they say something.
No.
Doctor's notes.
Can the men please come on this side? Thank you, Eugene. Can you be the leader of your house and lead your friends to this side? Oh.
The men still shaking their head, and I believe they in disbelief that this is how she talking to this man.
Oh my God.
Damn, Toya, no, baby, no.
Now, Evelyn done spoke up. She said, baby, you're doing too much. I would never do that to Dr. Daddy. Now you're going to have to come on down. Coming on down, girl. You're doing too much.
That's not nice.
Well, how other way do y'all get them to get up?
Say daddy. Right, you can
That's it, daddy. Okay, girl.
do it in a nice way, or you can do it in a mean way.
I did it in a nice way first. I've been asking you for the last 30 minutes.
And we had a little joke where we had doctor's notes.
And it wasn't funny.
But you want to do that? We're not
it wasn't funny.
We're not going to do that.
I mean, that's kind of funny. Some of them are funny.
I sit my ass here all night.
I tried. I'm not doing such
Okay, so then we're not going to.
I'm over for you. Look, I'm over it for you.
It's okay.
I have never.
He's embarrassed, so now it's okay. Let me see if I can skip part. Let's see what he gonna say. Does he go in the house?
Toya is stressed. I do get it.
That's why I'll never move in a woman's house.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
This one right here with his always negative self.
All they want to sit around is drink and eat and watch ass walk by. But it's just not the point. That wasn't the game. And it's just like,
For a man, that's a good party.
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, you don't have to talk to me, but Toya, if you
Don't try to be nice all now. You were just out there being embarrassing.
what the did you just say?
Don't fucking cuss at me because you don't want me to curse at you.
Okay, so he did try to talk to her, and she kind of shrugged him off. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure. So he said Tori's behavior gives women of color a bad rap, and if there's a serious disagreement that you do behind closed door, I don't care what you're getting paid to do. I agree with that. Laugh my ass off in 5, 4, 3, exactly. The entire scene made me uncomfortable, very, very, very. I'm comfortable just being a witness to this all the time. Me too. And I can imagine what their friends feel like, because that's got to be wild. We got a little bit more, and then I'm gonna have to go because the daughter has arrived.
To her husband, I lost the audience on my side.
Yeah.
I receive that.
Yeah.
I actually receive it.
And I respect my audience. I do. I love the love I get. You know, I look on social media at comments and I'm just looking for somebody to say, you did that, you know, and I shouldn't, because when they don't say it, I'm like,
right.
You know, but I
spoiled. Once again, spoiled.
Don't want to let my fans down either. You know, I know that I was put on this show for a reason. And it wasn't to make up bad, fake storylines. It wasn't to...
That was shady quiet.
You know, gloat. It wasn't to do any of that. It was to show...
But she gloats. Hence the purse. The party for the purse.
A loving marriage with a real mother raising 2 boys, and the world needed to see it. I've always asked before the show started to be in like the Cosby Show and like the, you know, different worlds back in the day, because that's what gave me hope. And so
you're not on a Cosby Show and you're not on a different world, baby. This is Married to Medicine. Totally different type of show, baby. You knew what you signed up for. This is reality TV. Cosby Show is a scripted television show.
Really, truly want to represent that. But because I'm not scripted.
And now I'm back to being a producer. I don't want you to represent that.
Yeah.
I want you to represent yourself, right? And I think this interview is doing a great job at showing the complexities of you, because you're not one note. And that's okay. A lot of people aren't, right?
Yeah.
You have been in a relationship with this man, married, for 18 years, right? And that. First of all, that should be applauded. And secondly, it's difficult to also show that on television. Yeah. And the thing about you, Dr. Eugene, that
I agree with that. It's difficult being married. And being, 20 years in, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I've always wanted to ask you is, listen, when Toya enters the room, your eyes light up, right? And you obviously, baby, it does. But I wanted to ask you this.
Maybe they used to light up. I ain't seen them light up in a while. Toya, I wish you told me. Remember this season, he comes home, she had a note, said, meet me outside. And he said, I wish it was meet me upstairs in the bedroom. That's what he said. Let's move.
I did not get a chance to ask you this fully in our last conversation. Mm-hmm. What do you see in Toya that you wish the world knew?
I mean, she is a very complete woman to me. I think she's attractive. She's smart. She's very caring. I think she's a wonderful friend. She's a great mother. I on paper, this is who you want to marry. Now, I also, because the way I grew up, I've got a couple extra things that I like that some people, some men don't like. You know, I like outspoken. You know,
He lying. Him is lying. Him is lying. Him is lying. Him is lying. I don't know why, but him is lying. Y'all give me 1 second, if you don't mind. All right, let's get back to the show.
like a little feisty. You know, I think, you know, I don't like women who are just one note. I don't want her to not give me pushback if she sees crap.
He dated somebody like that.
Now, sometimes I think she can go overboard, but I'm okay with that because I understand the total person, you know. But I like some of this stuff. Now, our counselor would be like, yeah, well, sometimes when it's something that you don't like, how do you respond? It's like, okay, yeah, that's the problem, you know.
Well, what he said was you got what you asked for, and now you want to complain about it.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. The reason why this makes sense to me is because in every relationship, this is my opinion. Number one,
he always got an opinion. You said, is Toya receiving individual therapy? I'm asking because whatever issues she has, those issues are making her be an emotional, verbal, and mental abuser. I agree, but she said no, they're receiving couples counseling. On paper, this is who you want. You want Marty, who on paper, this is who you want to marry, is a blatant lie. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
I want to say, as long as your partner has 80% of what you want, you've hit the lottery. You really have.
Because you're not trying to build him up.
But not only that. Listen, we live in a world where we know that nothing's perfect. And I do think the problems that you two have, I believe it is 20%, but it's 20% compounded because it's extreme. And I'm going to say this, and you guys have to say it. I strongly believe if you two weren't on reality television, the 20% of your problems would not be as heightened as it is. No. I think that's fair to say.
Honestly, the pool party, I already told her, had we not been on television, had this just been a regular day, we were having a pool party. One, we wouldn't have invited people to our house. Some of these people wouldn't have been invited. So we would have already been in a more safe space to be our full selves. If this was not on TV, we would have had a wonderful time. And had she...
The issue is that this was actually filmed for TV, right? Oh, was it relaxing? Hope I didn't put you guys to sleep. It was actually filmed for TV. So just imagine you're doing a TV show, you're recording something just for TV, but you're saying, oh, if this had just been a regular day, it would have been that. So he's saying that the reason why she was upset was because the show was being recorded, and she was anxious to get everything together because they had all these people coming over. Some they liked, some they didn't like. Hence the reason why I say that perhaps they need to leave the show.
Said those exact same words. Well, one, I don't even think she would have said it that way. Because
I just said, come on, leave the dudes. What are you doing?
Right.
So apparently this TV show is taking up too much of their lives, and they need to maybe take a break so that they can reorganize their lives and restructure their lives. Because she's saying, oh, the camera being here we're just used to it now. Now all of a sudden, in the next voice, you're saying, "Oh, if this had not been being filmed, it wouldn't have ever went down this way because we would have just been relaxed and had a good time because we wouldn't have had these people at our house." But you're filming a reality TV show.
I would have looked at it in a totally different light. Not you playing, because the only reason I thought she was playing me was because of a couple people who were there. Had it just been our friends, we joan on each other all the time. Like it wouldn't have been a thing. So, take it for what it's worth. But I think the show does change how you react sometimes.
Oh, for sure. And listen, I want to have some.
I'm sure the show does change how you react, but I think you're going to be you regardless of whatever. We know they do put on a good show so they can give us some good television, but I do believe that they're going to be them regardless.
Clarity, it has nothing to do with being fake or acting. It just has, listen, this camera's in front of me and the red light is on, right? Y'all know me off camera and I have a big personality, but when this is on, there's a heightened version of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're not going to be talking like this at Houston's.
Right.
Eating Hawaiian steak.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
And
but
spinach dip.
But there's a that's true. But there's a heightened version of it.
Mm-hmm.
There are people though, Toya, and I do want to have you address this. We all know that, like he even said 5 minutes ago, on paper, he pretty much scripted his dream girl and you came to life. You did mention earlier that God had to tell you, like, no, this is your guy. Was it hard or challenging for you to welcome that Eugene was your guy? Were you looking for something different? Is he your type?
Just to really get into how she prayed and how she met Eugene. I don't think she tells us exactly how she met him, but she tells us about her prayer and how she wrote out what she wanted in a man when it came down to finding a husband and a father for her children.
So people say it all the time. They're like, I want her vision board and whatever list that she wrote for a man. So someone told me years ago, write down all the things you need in your husband. And then I was like, girl, I don't need to write it down. She said, write it down. So I wrote down my list and she's like, don't be petty. So I never wrote on there that he had to be attractive. I thought those were little petty, small things. I wrote that he had to be trustworthy because I had trust issues. I wrote that he had to be a provider. And at the time I was making like 50 grand. I said, so he at least make 100, Mm-hmm. I wrote that he had to be a good father and that he could give me twins. It's a very specific list.
Good.
And I wrote that he had to be sensitive with me but strong.
She said she wrote that her husband had to be sensitive with her, but in the same breath, she said a few minutes ago that she didn't feel like he always protected her. She didn't feel safe. Of course, that when he was drinking, then she had to be the strong one in the group or whatever. But now these are the things that she's saying she asked God for, that she says he fit all of those qualifications.
Wrong to other people, and I wanted him to be consistent. And so there was all these things on this list. I should have brought it. And because I still have it. Yes, it's in my Bible. And so when God told me he was for me, the reason why he had to tell me is because I also made a deal with God. And I think that was bad. I said, if I'm not married by 30, can you take away the urge? Because I'm okay with being single. And at that time, I even wanted to write a book.
It's a big thing to tell God to take away the urge if you're not married by a certain age. If she wasn't married by 30, she told God to take away the urge because she was okay with being single.
It was going to be called Maximizing My Singleness because I felt like I was content. I had went through so much growing up as a child that I just was like, I'm happy. I'm at peace. I had my space. I had a great job. I was working for, at the time, Pfizer, Novartis. I was doing my thing. And I didn't want to...
Yeah, I heard her say she was working for Pfizer and Novartis. Those are both pharmaceutical companies. I heard someone say that she was a school teacher, but she just told her she was working for Pfizer and Novartis.
Looked like I had missed something. And honestly, coming from Detroit, I was not in a hurry to get married anyway. I was like, nobody's happy. There wasn't any, it's crazy how in Atlanta we have so many married couples that we hang out with. In Detroit, do you know one that we can hang out with?
Oh, in Detroit? Maybe not.
Right. Like, it's very difficult. And I just...
Oh, your cousin Tony.
My cousin, I would hang out with them. And your friend.
They're married.
And the guy that used to go to school with.
Thomas.
So she found someone that she could hang out with. There are married couples who are happy or that perceive to be happy. They love to travel. They like to have fun. So that's just not always the truth.
We know too.
But that wasn't something you saw reflected in your everyday life in Detroit.
No, marriage was not a thing that I was excited about doing. I could care less about it at that time. And so when he came around, Eugene was adamant. He was like, I'm going to get this girl. And he did everything. And I did everything to chase him away. Were
you not attracted to him when y'all first met?
Yeah, I was attracted to him. Yeah. But I wasn't having sex with him. I was like, I literally had told him, at that time I had went through this whole process of changing Toya. I wasn't drinking. I was saved. I wasn't having sex right away. So I was like, I'm not going to rush into that with you. I just want to get to know you. And it wasn't until somebody broke in my car and took my computer. And at the time I was going back to school for my master's. And he was like, I'm going to give you the key to my house. And you can use my computer anytime. Baby. He did everything.
See, I got that quiet game.
Right.
He got that quiet game. He got that quiet game. She saw a gentleman. She met a gentleman who was willing to go the mile to build the relationship, meaning whatever she needed, he was willing to be that for her. And he has continued that 20 years later, almost 20 years later. And I think that's to be commendable. So I think that she owes it to herself and to him to do the work to be the best Toya that she could be as their marriage moves forward.
Honey, you got game, honey. That game right there.
No, the thing is this.
That game right there.
No, the thing is this. I hope you realize.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I think it's a beautiful thing that you made a deal with God.
Oh, okay.
Because I made a deal with God about something, and
I tell you, if Carlos don't do nothing else, he gonna change this story to be about him. Baby, that's one thing he gonna do. The story's gonna turn so he can talk about himself. Here we go. Story about Carlos and how he made a deal with God.
It came true.
Okay.
I know what it feels like to say, if it's not meant for me, give me something else.
Yeah.
And even career-wise, I remember wanting this life that I live right now so badly that I was like, because I thought I'd be something at 22 child. Anyway.
Okay.
And I'm like, God, I'm 22 and I'm not where I need to be. And I said, I have this urge, and if it's not meant to be, take it away from me. Like, just take it away.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that God brought you Eugene. And
at 30.
That's my point.
Isn't that the crazy? At 30.
And God knew your stubborn self.
Yes. Had it been 31, I'd have said, oh, you're not from me.
That's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story.
But you know God. Mm-hmm. I hope you know this.
Mm-hmm.
That robbery was God ordained.
Yes.
Because it took that moment for you to realize I could be missing something so great.
Yes.
That I'm too busy trying to, make sure that everything's whatever.
Checking the box.
But my point in saying all of that to you is this. 18 years later, he is still that guy.
Yeah.
That will give you the key.
Yes.
To many houses.
Yes.
To make sure that you have something to look at.
And tell me, you figured out I'm coming with you.
Yes.
What vacation we going on, Toya? I want to go wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
What car you need, Toya? Go get it. I'm good. The boys good. What they need, you can handle it. I'm not.
That means she has a great husband. She has a great husband. And I think Toya's spoiled. I'm going to say that again. I believe Toya's spoiled. It's okay to be spoiled. And this is another reason why I said I believe they need to leave the show. Khadijah says, we'll quit the show for the sake of your marriage, but y'all won't because Toya loves the attention, but it comes with a risk. It comes with a big risk. And we are watching the risk with the complaints about how do you separate work, reality TV, and social media when it comes down to your stress levels. And he's already said it was something that's hard for him to kind of juggle. Toya said the same thing.
Worried about the house because you got it. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I recognize that I have a very good blessing in Eugene, and I'm grateful for that, you know, and that's the only reason why I have such a conviction when I do wrong by him, you know, because.
But you keep doing wrong. That's my only concern. You keep doing it. You keep being mean to him.
God giveth, but he take away.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that's not what he wants. You know, and I know that sometimes I can be self-destructive. You know, and I receive that, and I'm trying not to be that way at 50. Damn, I'm about to be 50. You know, girl, like I can't keep doing that. You know, there's no chaos here, as the other people like to say. You know, but the people that will.
No, there's no chaos in your marriage. You are chaotic. You are the chaos agent. And that's one thing she did. She talked about Dr. Mimi calling her a chaos agent because she enjoys chaos. She only comes to the show for chaos.
Know me, would love to call it that.
And another thing is, if you notice her on the show being negative towards everybody, it's because she really has nothing in common with the lady. She doesn't care about the lady. She doesn't want to be included in their friend group. She just wants to be a doctor's wife and live a soft life. She doesn't care about this group of friends. So I don't even know why she keeps showing up year after year, signing a contract.
The people that know and love us will say things like Simone said, this is the couple I would love to be. You know, I need a man that's going to uplift. And
if Simone had a man that would uplift, she wouldn't be happy either.
Support, and a woman that he feels so safe that he doesn't even blink twice. I just, I'm just a work in progress.
And that's fair. But to me, that's the beauty of life.
Yeah.
Right? Is I don't want to live a life where I'm stagnant because I know everything.
That part.
You know what I mean? I receive. Because God knows that some things I'm like, God, I didn't need that lesson, but I got you, bro. But my point is, you should be honored that, number one, you get to live a life where you're constantly learning and growing.
Yes.
And you two are soulmates. You guys really are. You guys really are.
Yeah.
You can't tell a person if they're soulmates. It's something they have to know from within. Pretty Speak says, yes. That's why you should talk to him with respect. I totally agree, Khadijah. Totally agree with that.
And I don't want anything to disrupt this union that is God ordained, because there's people who talk about the Sierra prayer, but we all want the Toya prayer.
Amen.
And we want the Eugene sketch.
Okay.
Okay. So my last question is this. When it comes to marriage, you know, there's tons of people, Dr. Eugene and Toya, who are disconnected. And, you know, there's people, I'm sure you know tons of them, who use the D word, divorce. You know, we've seen, and I tell the world this all the time, my favorite scene in the history of this show is when all of y'all rallied behind Simone and Cecil to say, no, we're going to fix this. But what advice do you give couples who feel like we've been together for X amount of years and, you know, do we throw in the towel?
I think you just have to every day choose your partner. I mean, there's going to be hard days. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Like, it would be, I guess, some utopia if we never had an argument, but that's just not realistic. You know, like even best of friends.
I agree. Every day you should choose your partner. You should intentionally choose your partner for a marriage to work. Every single day you should choose your partner.
get in arguments,
Yeah.
you know? So if you're going to be with somebody for the long term, it's going to be external factors that come in. It's going to mess y'all up. It's going to be internal stuff, mess you up, your past, all kind of stuff. But as long as you each day choose, like, I'm choosing her, you know, and then you work through those issues. Like, you just got to keep choosing, you know.
I think for me, the first question I would ask is, do you still love each other?
Not like them. Love them.
Right. And, you know, because if you are still in love with someone, then you can take the next step, which is learning to respect that person again. And I think
you notice she said learning to respect that person again.
Sometimes when we get in relationships, we get so comfortable with each other that we don't even realize that we're disrespecting each other and that we're not uplifting each other in the way we need, or I'm not speaking to the man I need him to be. I'm speaking to that other person.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that 100% though. You're not speaking to the man you need him to be. You're speaking to that other man that's aggravating you.
That I'm dealing with on the outside.
Oh, can I interject one thing?
Yeah.
This is the protector of me, like protecting my wife. I just hate this notion that Toya's just doing something to Eugene all the time. Like, I didn't comment earlier. It was like, well, good thing he stood up for himself this time. Like, first of all, do I not push back on a lot of stuff?
Well,
like,
you have to tell the world that. I told you, I'm not going to tell.
Right. There are days I'm not. There are days I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I know that, but some of my pushing buttons isn't so much in an aggressive way. Sometimes it's not hearing her. Now I know not hearing her is
it's aggressive sometimes.
It can
you
be.
Slam doors.
Oh yeah.
You have tantrums.
I've slammed the door before.
Yeah.
You do?
So it sounds like they both be having tantrums, not just Toya. They both having fits and falling out and having tantrums.
Oh yeah, I slammed the door.
He will yell throughout the house. Yes.
Now,
and
in my opinion, not Eugene.
Yeah, I'm like, and I never saw my parents argue, so I'm like,
once it gets going, what's your sign?
Yeah,
Sagittarius. We're both fire signs.
Yes, and so once he is lit, Eugene, I'm like, stop texting me.
Oh Lord, two Sages together. I'm a Sag too, baby. We can get with it. Get with it. Do you hear me?
Look, if I think I've been wrong, I'm going to keep
That's me. I be texting. This is over. Stop texting me.
Explaining and defending where I'm right.
Yes.
Over and over. So I get it. You know, but nobody sees
and
that
God
part.
forbid me tell this doctor, you know, he's wrong in some way when every day he goes to work and he's right.
Yeah, no, that's not true. That's okay. You can say that.
Well, I want to say right. I think every day he goes to work, he's on a mission to get the answer.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is pretty much the end of the of that interview. Great interview. We got a chance to watch Toya do everything but accept some accountability. But in overall, it was a great interview. Got to see a good part of what they have going on with themselves. Anyway, if no one told you today they love you, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. We're gonna get on off of here. Y'all have a great night. All right. Bye-bye. Yes, you got to choose your partner, Khadijah. You got to choose your partner. You got to choose right. Choose wisely. All right. Bye-bye, you guys.